It's okay. You're back now.
Oh, good.
You're
Oh,
back
good.
now. You can keep talking about your hedgehog.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
I'm sorry. While we're stalling, I'm gonna step out to grab food. Please
go
continue.
for it. Yeah, so for the audience that wasn't there for that, we when Matt hosted the D&Dorks Battle Royale, for the team battle, Josie and I showed up as gender bent Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog at level 20. Um, and did the entire thing in our character voices, which, you know, was the best thing I've ever done on a stream.
That actually is a good thing I can plug here. I'm sure we have at least a couple new people in chat who have never seen this before, because I know Jake plugged this on his channels. First off, if you are new and have never watched the show before, say hi. I'm curious who is new, so say hello. But if you have not seen the show and would like to see all of the previous things we've done, we have done this show for coming up on 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in April. There's a lot of content. It is on our YouTube, Spotify, etc. We have 3 seasons of the original campaign, the original Symmetry Saga. We have several mini-series. We also have the campaign that Panda Red DM'd, Outlaws of the Seven. And the thing that Jess just mentioned, which is an event we did called Fight Fest, which was basically it's divided up into specific episodes on YouTube for ease of viewing, but it was like an 8-hour fight night of PvP streams that involved like 17 different creators all like rotating and fighting each other. It was really fun, and I didn't vet any of the characters beforehand, and I think that's pretty much all the plug that you possibly need. So if you want to go watch that, again, I'll use this to plug our website again. The D&Dorks, I should make sure that works again. It was working yesterday.
It would be
The D&Dorks.com, it does work. So go and type the D&Dorks.com in your browser, and if it takes you to a bad gateway, please tell me and I'll try to fix it. Very long card just went by. Oh, Nikhil is here. Hold on. I'm texting him to join up. The cameras are going to get real bad. I'm going to warn you guys, the cameras are going to get real screwy for a second when he joins. Then I will fix it, and they will get not bad anymore. As I'm waiting on him to join, let me look at these people in the chat here. So many new people. Hello, MF9769, Vargafet, hello. Unexpected Hits, which is a good username. Kevin is cool, Corey Kaplan, Royal Fenrir, another cool name. Someone that I don't recognize, never seen him before, Nathan Apollo. Kitty Colossal, Prince Grizz. What does the D and D&Dorks stand for? That is a bit from our Patreon. I actually don't remember what it says. If you want to know the inside jokes that our Patreon Discord makes, you should join our Patreon, and then you'll know what the corn reference that is obligatory later in this season at some point is about. Okay. Stalling for another second as Nikhil gets here. I promise this will go smoother once he arrives. But traffic is an unpredictability. I probably broke the cameras. There we go. I'm setting this up so that it does not become far worse here. Yeah. See, this is
my room.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. For those who are again new to the show, I'll give you a little bit of D&Dorks history. We used to use Skype for this because the fact that I was running it off a Mac was heavily limiting, and it was really bad. We had camera issues like in pretty much every episode. It was the episodes are still good. I shouldn't say this right after I plug the old campaigns. You should still go watch them. They're very like watchable. They're not that bad. But we had camera issues all the time when we were getting stuff worked out, and we finally made the switch to Discord, and it's so much better, except in the setup. The setup is really annoying. And this is the first episode with a new cast, so obviously there's going to be setup, streamlining stuff. We'll probably edit this out of the VOD so that you guys won't have to worry about this in there. We'll keep in, all the good stuff, but I'll streamline it in the VOD. The bad times, but funny though. The scuff was great. The camera issues were part of the charm. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
I do think every time I was on, my camera just got blown up giant in the middle of every episode, so I was huge in the camera thing.
Oh yeah, it happens at least once. Giant. Well, I mean, I still hold on. Here, we'll have a little bit of nostalgia. Nikhil also texted me, should I just join the call? And then I said yes, and he still hasn't joined. So I don't know what he's doing. But as we're waiting, here,
Yeah,
We'll
just
do
like old
big
times.
Jess. And we'll leave it like this for the rest of the show.
Kaiju.
Jess will just be MODOK.
Dare I say
Machine
Kai
organism
Jess?
designed-
Kai Jess?
Oh, that's
Kai
so
Jess? Actually, I kind of like this framing better, actually. That the zoomed more. I'm going to have to change it when Nikhil gets here anyway. We got everyone in chat. No, everyone in chat yell at Nikhil nicely. Don't be mean, but yell at Nikhil nicely when he arrives.
I do think it would actually be very funny if everyone in chat was just chanting Nikhil's name when he shows up. So when he gets here, the chat is just Nikhil,
yes.
Nikhil.
Yeah, okay. In that vein, summoning ritual. Chat,
Okay.
This is not a bit. Nikhil has texted me if he should join, which I did respond to, and he has not joined. So, summoning ritual. Everyone
Dear
yell
chat,
for
Matt has
Nikhil.
already convened with those in the great beyond. We need your help to summon him.
Nikhil.
Is he even online?
Adam's family.
Yeah!
Did it work? It worked!
Hello?
That was
Oh
not
my God, he's in
scripted at all.
grayscale. Let's
Oh my
go.
god! Incredible! It worked so the cameras are not set up yet, so that reveal is divided into two halves of the screen. But oh my god. I'm not gonna explain it. I'm not going to explain to Nikhil why we're all so happy about his joining at that specific time. I'm going to fix the
I'll watch it
cameras
later.
as fast as I possibly can, so give me just a second here, and then we will get into the show. I'm sure everybody's so confused why Nikhil is grayscale, but we know,
Listen,
and this is going to be
I know.
great. I mean, we can see the borders that that's like the first hint of what characters are all about. Oh, look, there's our unfiltered setup. Just put that there. There we go.
Keep this
All right,
part.
now
Hi
let me.
everyone, I'm sorry I'm 20 minutes late to my grand return to this fucking show.
Okay.
I mean, what a return. You've gone all out. Like, every additional
Oh.
second was fully worth it.
Thank you.
Up.
This boat will not stay on. It is way too warm in Los Angeles, but
Fair.
worth it for the beginning.
Okay.
I was in
And
DM seat. This is my show now.
cut
Just
this
your
cut this
DMing?
down.
No,
Cut this down. Okay.
no one told me that. That's
just the
amazing.
camera issues put me into the DM box.
Jake is there.
Yes.
Mike is so close to being in the right spot, but is just slightly wrong. Oh, and now we have 66% of Mike. And Abracadabra. And then Jess. That's not Jess. Where's Jess? There.
Hiding.
Water bottle.
A little bit.
Jess hand. Jess face. And
Just
And we made it!
days.
we're gonna have to do all that again if you guys get into a fight today.
Woo.
So let this be the encouragement to not be murder hobos in episode 1. Though if we do, we'll do it on a break off screen, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, there we go. Now we can start the show proper. Welcome to Nikhil Clayton, everybody. It's been a while since he has been
Been a
on
bit.
the show, and
I have food.
what a return! What a return! I also want to make it clear. I think my reaction probably already showed this. I had no idea he was gonna do the black and white camera. I love it when people do camera surprise. We had Skyen do bits like this. Nikhil does bits like this. This is a good omen for everybody. So, let's see. Now that Nikhil is here, I don't have to. Nikhil doesn't have to plug his stuff. If you're on this channel, you probably already know who Nikhil is.
Someone called me the Addams Family guy from TikTok, so y'all know me.
He's the Addams Family guy from TikTok, and that's the only plug that I'm going to allow him to do. If he tries to do another one, I'm going to mute him. All right. So, with that, are we finally ready to jump in? I got to find my notes again. Are we finally ready to jump in to the first episode of D&Dorks, Minor Infractions?
Hell yes.
Excellent. So, in that case, I just got a notification that the battery in my headset died, but that's okay. I don't actually need it. So, in that case, with everything set up, we will open on a new setting for the D&Dorks show. This is a setting that is entirely underground in a kingdom called Spondulix. Now, as we enter Spondulix for the first time, the first thing that we shall see is a grand castle carved into a stone pillar in the center of a massive cavern. Around this castle, there are clouds of glowing seeds and spores that rotate around this massive area, providing light like a sort of sun to an area that otherwise would not have it. It casts a very grand, imposing fantasy scene, but as we get a little bit closer, it seems that the castle is actually maybe not as great as it seems on the surface. It seems a little bit run down, a little bit, in disrepair, not as much the imposing figure that it might have cast in the past. But as we pan down from this large pillar, we see a different scene, because surrounding the castle in the city of Spondulix, the world has changed quite a bit in recent years. What we see in this scene is a fantasy village that has recently reached an age of technology. To put it in modern terms, something of an industrial revolution. And therefore, built onto the standard, wooden and stone buildings that you would see in a Dungeons and Dragons setting, there's bits of metal, there's little bits of steam coming up from various buildings, more and more developed as you get closer into the castle. However, we're actually not going to start in this city. We will get to it later, and there's much there to be found. But we will begin on the outskirts of this cavern, in a small mining tunnel. You see, with the age of technology in Spondulix, mining has rapidly become an important industry. After all, magic can only do so much. Technology is doing quite a bit, but to make technology, you need materials. And so the people of Spondulix have been carving these massive tunnels out in all directions, looking for the valuable materials to make their fortune. We're going to do something interesting for the start of this campaign. I need all of you to just roll me a d20. Just flat. Just give me a d20 right to start.
16.
Oh boy.
14.
14. 16.
13.
13, and did I hear 18?
18.
18. All right. In that case,
I think was it 16 or 18?
I heard 18. I could be wrong.
I said 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
I rolled my Arby's D20 and it rolled an 18.
Okay, pause
Nice.
everything. Did you just say Arby's?
I did. I don't know if it'll show up, but it's. I don't know if I'll be able to see it. Actually, the D6 will be better.
If you send me a picture of it, I will post it on the Discord for people to
that
see
is
later.
the Arby's logo. That's the Arby's logo.
I have many questions, but we'll save them for later. So with the Arby's D20,
Arby's sent me dice.
a solid.
What is it? Is it just
Okay,
Arby's?
well for
That's
sandwich
amazing.
that makes sense. Anyway,
Yes, I'm a sandwich guy.
so
So yeah, 18.
in that case, you're going to be arriving to this scene first. So as we go into this tunnel, go ahead for everybody and describe your character, Jake, and then I'll describe what you see.
All right. My character is named Iggy Mavrolith. He is a young deep gnome, so he has dark skin that helps him, camouflage in the dark. He is, probably 25, which is pretty young for a gnome. Kind of rough around the edges, scrawny. Basically has a Skrillex haircut. Yeah, he's a little like twitchy, I would say, a little bit like on edge, pretty much all the time. So.
All right. Now, I'm not sure what people were expecting for the vibe of this campaign, because I didn't talk too much about it. I talked about the setting of the campaign, but I didn't really say what the sort of tone was going to be. If you've seen my DMing before, you know I like my weird eldritch horrors and the like, but we're not going to be starting with that, because we are going to be starting with something, let's call it horrifying in a different way, that being a murder scene. See, Iggy has been called to this tunnel because he received a mysterious note This note did not seem to be from any person or channel that you recognize. It was just an anonymous tip that showed up at your door, which is, a bit reminiscent of something that might have happened in your life several years ago when you were in a different situation that I will let you reveal as you go. This note told you of an attack on a recent mining expedition. As they were coming back to the city, they were jumped by mysterious figures, presumably the infamous Green Rock Gang, the most notable organized crime group in Spondulix. Now, normally, this would not be something that you would get involved in. In fact, much the opposite. Unfortunately, someone you know was involved. There's a fire truck going by outside my house fitting the emergency status. So, I'll toss it back to you for a second if you want to briefly describe the person, Jens, who was mentioned in this note. And I know we did.
You said we showed. You said it was a murder scene, right?
Yes, you are arriving there. If you want me to describe the scene first, that is okay. I just tossed it over to you, whichever you prefer.
Okay. Well, just tell me if I recognize the body.
Okay, in that case, I'm
That'll
going to
inform what I do.
Go ahead and make me a perception check then, because this is a dark tunnel. Okay. You have a torch. We'll say a torch for this purpose. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay. What we got with the, let's see, 17?
17 is quite good. So you see around this 5 bodies. This is not a single murder scene. This is a whole incident. These bodies are strewn around various carts, pretty much normal things that you would see for a mining operation. And yes, one of them is definitely somebody that you recognize. That being Jens.
Yeah, it's no good. Yeah, so this Jens is basically an elderly miner that I've been staying with. Basically for free, so I can get back on my feet, kind of. And that's it's not good. But he's dead. That sucks.
No, quite bad for a number of reasons. Now, the other people you don't recognize personally. However, I will say, and I'll let you do a choice here. If you would like to investigate more of the scene, which you can or cannot, depending on your personality and how you would react here, you can either do a history check or an investigation check. I will give you different information depending on, obviously, what you roll, but also which one you choose.
Okay. I'm going to do an investigation check.
Investigation check, all right. Also, if you would like to look for any sort of specific information, let me know. If not, I will give you some sort of general stuff that's relevant to your background. But you can also let me know if you have specific things you're looking for.
Yeah, I would say that given my experience with the Green Rock Gang, I would be looking for certain specific telltale signs of either, certain people that I know of, calling cards, anything like that.
Gotcha.
And just anything that I can glean using my background with the Green Rock Gang.
Gotcha.
That was a 9. So
a 9. Okay.
Roll.
With a 9, it's a dark tunnel. The nice, kind, elderly man who's been staying with has been murdered in cold blood. It's a little bit difficult for you to get a great read on this situation. However, by pure coincidence and a nice initiative order of sorts, someone who might be qualified to check out this is on his way. Nikhil, you got a 16. That was next in the arrival at this scene. Go ahead and describe your character for us.
All right, everyone. Is a Minotaur. What?
Your audio is cutting in and out just a little bit.
Of course it is. Why? How would it?
It seems fine now.
Nothing's easy. Is Detective Hatchet. He's a Minotaur. He is a sort of. There's lightning. He's a sort of 1920s noir sort of grizzled detective. Matt did tell me that this was actually set equivalently much earlier than the 1920s. Did not change.
It's no. You can make it 1925. That is okay.
I did not change. But big Minotaur, I will leave his class for a reveal later. He's a detective. That's. I guess I feel like I've covered everything. He wears a little fedora just like this in between his horns.
If we want to do not a teaser for class necessarily, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. Nikhil sent me a pitch for a homebrew weapon, and I believe my response to Nikhil was, "That's one of the stupidest ideas I've ever heard. Greenlit immediately." So that's a little bit of a teaser for something you'll probably see later today. But Detective Hatchet, in a similar vein, has received an anonymous tip. Once again, a letter kind of scrawled out, not from any source or person that you are able to recognize, directing you to this same place. There is some sort of murder. There's been an attack, presumably by the Green Rock Gang, on this arriving mining caravan. And as you go there, go ahead and also make me a perception check.
Hold on. Perception check. 1 second. I gotta remember how to do all this stuff. All right. My computer is loading terribly. It's rolling slowly.
He's taking his time to really get the vibe of the whole place. As a detective,
Oh, that is a nat 1, my friend.
I was wrong. He's not doing that at all. He was.
It is technically a 7, if that helps, but it is a nat 1.
It unfortunately does not help. So Detective Hatchet, as you are going through this tunnel, arriving at this this scene of the crime, your torch goes out. So you are kind of bumbling through in the pitch black. However, I will say, off in the tunnel ahead, you can see a flickering light. This, of course, being from Iggy's torch. And I will also say, Minotaur bumbling around in the dark, nat 1 on perception. Iggy, you are pretty easily able to hear someone approaching from the tunnel, long before he would be able to see you, if that affects your actions here.
Yes, I would like to roll stealth.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. Yeah.
And we're in a stony environment, I assume?
Yes, you are in
caves.
yeah. This is not like a necessarily special
advantage.
location. It is a rock tunnel, mining tunnel.
Okay. So I have an advantage as a deep gnome.
Okay.
For hiding in stone.
Though I will also ask, what are you doing about your light?
Dousing it.
Gotcha.
16?
16. Okay.
Yeah.
Nikhil, go ahead and actually, do you have dark vision, Nikhil? I'm not sure if Minotaurs passively have dark vision.
I do not think so.
In that case, go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage as you get here. Also, as you're doing that, somebody in chat asked what level the players were, which is a good question that I should have said. Players are starting at level 5. We actually get to scale. What?
That is a fucking 8 on the perception check.
So, from what you told me last time, did you roll a 1 and then a 2?
No, I rolled a 2 and then an 18.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, not a great start for Detective Hatchet, but you'll be able to figure it out, I'm sure. Now, Iggy, as a deep gnome...
Matt before this. Huh? Matt was like, is he a good detective? And I was like, yeah, I'd like to play a character that's not stupid for once. Rip.
He could be a good detective that can't see in the dark. You'll have your chance. Iggy, I assume you have dark vision, being a deep gnome. I'm guessing that's...
Yes,
okay.
120 feet, yeah.
So in that case, you do see... kind of stumbling onto this crime scene, but as Ratchy is a good detective, we'll give benefit of the doubt, going carefully enough so as to not mess up evidence. You do see a very large figure make his way into this tunnel. Not one that you recognize, and not one that from visuals seems to be affiliated with the Green Rock Gang, as best as you can tell.
Okay.
If you'd like to stay hidden, that is totally fine, in which case we will go on to the next arrival. But if you want to do something now,
I mean, absolutely, because I was alone, and there's 5 bodies, and somebody just showed up. Like, I would be hiding, thinking, I don't want to get caught, them thinking I just killed these 5 guys. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to stay hidden.
All right.
For now.
So, now remind me, Who was? I think Jess was next highest on the starting roll.
I think so. Out of 14.
Yes, I had 13.
13. Okay, cool. I did remember correctly. In that case, you're the third arrival to this scene. Jess, describe your character.
Yeah. All right. So she's a kobold. She's kind of an orangey color. Matt really nailed it with this border. Actually, if you want to look at the color that.
Thank
she
you.
is.
I googled orange snake.
Oh, perfect. Sorry. And yeah, she's an adult kobold. Kobolds, fun fact, reach adulthood at the age of 6. This kobold is 30. Kobolds can live for, I think, like 120 years. So she's 30. And kobolds don't get old very often. And yeah, she's wearing a white button-up shirt and a vest. I did dress up like my character today.
Excellent. Your skin's not orange, but I'll give you a pass.
That's true. I was out of scales. And yeah, I think. Oh, and she walks with she has a cane. Yeah, so I think she just walks right up. And I noticed you gave Jake the option to roll a history check instead of an investigation check.
Yeah. Well, make me a perception check first to see what you're hearing and seeing as you approach the scene, because there are people
That's
rumbling
true.
around in there.
What is that? That is the weirdest 11 I've ever seen on a dice. Okay, 11 plus 3 is 14.
14. So, as you are approaching through this tunnel, I'll say for the sake of just convenience, it widens out a little bit. It seems the miners were ambushed in a wider area so that they could be taken out. You do hear the large footsteps that, though you don't know it yet, do belong to Detective Hatchet. With 14, you are pretty sure there's only one person there. You have no evidence of Iggy being there, but you don't see anything because the light is out. But you do hear that there is someone else there, and then for note, Detective Hatchet, you can see the light approaching from the other side.
Lovely.
Did your character say lovely, or is that you saying lovely?
Oh, that was me saying love. So
Okay.
I'll let you.
I was like,
Do
what
your
an
thing.
odd response. Yes, I guess she would. I'd walk up to Detective Hatchet and just be like, "Did you kill these guys?"
Wait, did we say Detective Hatchet can see her? Yeah, because she has
You
light,
see,
right?
you can see the light approaching down the tunnel, yeah, and until she reveals herself.
I
Yes,
didn't kill anyone. I'm here to investigate. Did you
Mhm.
kill them?
I did not. I'm
It sounds,
also.
it sounds like
here.
you might have killed them though, because you're projecting onto me.
I got a note. Did you send me a note?
I didn't know. I got a note too, actually. Let me see your note.
I'm gonna produce the note that I received from Matthew, and it says, I guess it.
I admittedly did
I don't
not
have
write
the
it like
impression.
in character,
Yeah.
but you can get the info that it says. Hold
Is
on.
it clear that it comes from the same person?
Yes, I will also. It is clear. It is written very messily. Both the notes are written in the same handwriting, but it's not good handwriting. It is almost to the point of being difficult to read, bad. But they are, because of that, also very distinctly from the same person. Iggy, notably, although I'm sure you can assume this, if you get a peek at one of these notes as they're being looked at from behind a rock, yours also is, of course, from the same person. Now, with you guys in the light, you can continue your interactions, of course. If you guys, since you can see, would like to roll me a history or an investigation check just at any point in this interaction, let me know. Again, if you want to look for something specific, let me know that as well.
I'll roll one.
All right, go for it.
I think I'm gonna roll history too.
That is a 9. I cannot roll well to save my fucking life.
12.
12? Okay, I will give you... you said this was a history check?
Yeah.
Okay, I will give you a little bit more information. I think this actually might have been in the note, but I will add it for everybody else. This is a rare case, right? The Green Rock Gang is pretty notorious for being a force in Spondulix, but you don't really recall a time when they have left the city to go and attack a mining caravan like this. Like, this is a random mining operation that was just coming back. And clearly this was the Green Rock Gang. Why they came out here, out of their usual territory, is definitely odd and definitely something worth investigating. That's the main thing you will get off a history check for that. And as this is going on, Mike, a character who I think is actually very fitting to arrive last to this scene.
Yes. This time around, I am playing a rogue, a thief specifically. And into the cave, creeping, comes a lanky, ghoulish-looking high elf with slicked back black hair, wearing a broad-shouldered midnight blue suit. He has long, bony, calloused hands that never seem to stop moving when he talks. He slinks across the cave wall, almost flattening against it like a cave painting at points.
Good.
If you've seen Disenchanted, I think is the Matt Groening fantasy show. How Eric Andre's character often moves in that, I kind of picture for this guy without actually becoming a shadow. And his name is Cielo Subeto.
All right. As with everybody else, go ahead and give me a perception check. And then while I won't tell you necessarily when to make it, same offer to you. You can make a history or investigation whenever you would like.
Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, first thing, Mike, you said your guy's a thief, right?
Yes.
Matt, can I roll to see if I know this man? No reputation or anything?
You know what? Give me an investigation check. You're a detective. Give me an investigation. And if you roll high enough, yeah. As that's happening.
That was a 12. Jesus
No.
Christ.
I will go ahead and no, off-site. No, maybe you've seen this guy around and have, but not like you do not know crimes that this man has committed from just sight.
To be clear, am I also rolling perception or am I rolling stealth?
You can do a stealth check if you would like, but everyone does a perception while they get in there. So definitely perception, stealth if you would prefer to try to sneak in. But that is elective.
Okay, I will stealth my way in but I rolled perception first. That was a 22.
22, notably the best. Do the stealth check and then I'll give you everything at once.
All right. That is 25.
Okay. Everyone else roll perception against that, and then I'll do the whole scene once we have that. 25 is this guy's just gonna appear.
We roll perception against him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus fuck.
13.
That is a 10.
16.
God damn.
Okay, so
16.
for note, Mike, no one sees you as you come in, so I will leave you to determine where you end up off your own info there. But what you see as you walk in is a type of sight that you are decently familiar with, which makes sense why you would get a higher roll. As you've seen everybody else, there are 5 bodies strewn around. I will also note, though, since this is sort of your area of expertise, and you also got a really good perception roll, one thing that is very odd about this crime scene, while it is clearly an attack on an incoming mining caravan, and there were obviously, it was important enough of an operation that many deaths occurred, all of the stuff that the miners brought back, still in the carts. This did not seem to be a robbery of materials in any capacity. Again, since you have a very specific connection to this type of thing, if you have any specific things you want, this is a mystery type thing. So at any point, if you guys want to look for something specific, I have a list of clues and details. Feel free to ask.
I assume you would know going in what exactly they were mining, but could I get a look to see if there's anything of note among the mine materials?
Are you doing so they're in carts. Are you doing just a cursory glance, or do you want to actually get in and root around? You can do both. Cursory glance, I'll give you off perception. You don't see anything really notable in there. There's some gold, there's iron, some copper, just sort of materials that you would expect to find in this kind of thing, materials that are going to be used for various machines. Valuable stuff. This is the early days of mining, so any material is valuable, nothing is oversaturated yet. Stuff that would, if this was an operation for money, it's weird that this stuff is still here. And of course, I didn't mention this explicitly. You see 2 people talking and a deep gnome hiding in the corner. I should have noted that. You also did get a high enough to see Iggy.
I'm gonna reciprocate Nikhil's role because it would also make sense if I may have had knowledge of his character considering my profession and goings on.
That would also work. Go ahead.
Which that's a history check?
History check will be fine. Yeah. I think I said investigation for Nikhil, but he's a detective, so that for you it'll be history.
What was that? That's yes, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah. You are well aware of Detective Hatchet. You know that this guy has investigated the various dealings of the Green Rock Gang in the past.
CL's eyes narrow. But just for one last glance before I'll give up to whatever anyone else wants to do, but because CL's got it separate. Right now, can I look at the bodies for any commonalities among them? Are they at all notable in who was killed, who was left behind?
Yes, you definitely can. Give me an investigation check for that. It will not be a super high one, but go ahead.
Ew. I'm not a detective. That's
It won't be.
a 10.
A 10. That was the DC I had in my head. Now, this is not something that chat is going to know necessarily yet, but this should mean something to at least a few of the players, and it'll all be revealed later. As you look around, most of them are pretty unremarkable. There are 4 bodies of miners. There is the body of Iggy's sort of old friend, though you do not recognize him specifically. However, the 5th body is farther away from the rest, notably farther back down the tunnel. And you can see by looking down there, from what that man is wearing, he seems to be one of Elgon's boys. Now again, chat, you didn't miss anything. That has not been said yet, but the players know what that means, and you will too soon.
I want to be one of Elgon's boys.
That is very perturbing.
Perturbing indeed.
I'll ruminate on that if anyone else has things they are doing.
Again, anyone can look at anything specific that they would like. Iggy,
Just to confirm.
Oh, what? Go ahead, Jess.
Sorry, I was thinking, just to confirm, Iggy and Silo are both completely are both hidden right now. We don't see them.
Yeah, you are still in a tunnel. The light is coming from like one torch, and especially with Iggy being a deep gnome and Cielo being very experienced in this kind of thing, they're sneaking around, skulking in like the shadows, slipping in and out very quickly. There's enough flickering lights and their experience with this.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
But as for you two are both in full view here.
And are we near? We're not near the bodies, right?
You can be if you. I mean, we don't have like a set map for this. The cavern is big enough that you're not like you're probably a couple feet away from them. I would assume you're not stepping right on them, but it's not a massive cavern.
All right, I want to go investigate the bodies as well.
All right, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, I just did my own thing. 15. We're getting better.
A 15.
We're getting higher.
Yes, a 15 is notably better. Out of curiosity, and I'll go ahead and say this now. You also do notice with that one of them is farther away than the others, notably. And with your detective skills, you can tell from just the way that the bodies have fallen and everything, it does seem like that 5th guy tried to run for some reason and was shot while escaping. The other bodies seem scattered. It does not seem like they were like aware of they were very much just sort of jumped and taken out, and then one guy ran and was also shot. But the bodies also, from their clothing and just think, it kind of seems like there was not a struggle necessarily, but they're not laying in natural positions aside from that one that has run off. It seems like whoever killed them might have like kind of rustled through their jackets or whatever as if looking for something.
Okay. So it's probably worthless to rustle through myself.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, if you rustle through, you will not find... I mean, you can find, like, personal effects, nothing that you would think the Green Rock Gang would be interested in.
Any
And I will
identification?
also say, you also are then aware. I might have said this already. You are also aware that the one farther off is one of Elgon's gang.
Yeah, I assumed.
Okay.
Elgon's gang.
Jess, were you gonna say something?
Oh, I was just asking, was there any identification if Nikhil was ruffling through the pockets? Did they have like any IDs or anything, or are these 5 John Does?
I
Or
mean,
4 John Does?
this is before an era where people are like carrying around IDs. I will say that everything fairly normal for the time. There's no like papers with their names on them, but that's not something that would really be expected in this era.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you
When
wanted
is
to like
anything-
look for something that could be used to, you could like pull like a watch off somebody and then ask around and figure out who it belonged to. So that is something that you can do if you want, but there's no like papers with names on them.
Is there
Yeah.
anything valuable on them? Did you already answer that? Or is it like they left the valuables?
Nothing really valuable on the 4 there. You can go and check the 5th guy, but he is off on the other side of the cavern.
Yeah, I'll check the 5th guy.
All
I'll
right,
do his jacket stuff too.
go and actually, you know what? You don't even need to make an investigation check for that. This guy, you find 2 notable things on him. The first one is a makeshift badge, not a very fancy one, but one that does identify him as, of course, one of Elgon's gang. Now, for those who do not know, Elgon is an upstanding figure in Spondulix, a former expeditioner turned adventurer turned businessman who has a large network of fine, strong people who can provide security to mining operations and nothing beyond that, unless you ask nicely with money in your hands. As with all of your backstories, you know that that's what Elgon's gang is. You know that they do provide legitimate mining operations, but you also know that they do other things as well. The most notable thing about this, and the reason that this is a surprise, is that Elgon, who by the way is a lion man, a leonin, Elgon is affiliated with the Green Rock gang. So the fact that one of his men has been taken out here is definitely interesting, given that the Green Rock gang is who is being sort of seemingly blamed for this hit. And on this body, you do find something different. You find a sort of secret pocket, nothing incredibly notable, but something that would you be used to smuggle contraband of sorts in his jacket. And in this is a vial. And taking this vial out, it seems to be filled with liquid gold. It's very small, probably only about that big, like a little test tube with a little stopper in there. With a material that looks exactly like solid gold until you shake it a little bit where it moves like a liquid. Very strange, mysterious to look at. I think unless you're actively trying to... If you want to actively try to hide this, make me a stealth check. If not, everyone else in the cave, hidden or not, sees you pull this out.
Oh no, I'll show it off.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not hiding it.
Detective Hatchet shows this vial. I will go ahead and say it is nothing like any of you have seen before. It's gold, but this strange liquid gold, not glowing like molten or anything like that. It's just there.
Well, now that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
I would say at this point,
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, at this point, I have observed long enough to see that these people are not necessarily a threat. So I'm going to reveal myself. First, just by talking, so it might be a little bit like a jump scare. Hey, are you a cop?
The moment he says
Talking
that,
to it, yeah.
Ratch Hatchet draws a pistol and points it towards where the voice came from.
Oh, hey,
Who are you? Did you kill these men?
no, okay, so not a cop, because you're pointing a gun at, okay, well, maybe a cop.
Police
Cops
commentary.
never point guns at people. Come on, Jake.
I mean, anyway, I am a deep gnome.
Unlike a cop, I'm private though.
You like a cop, or you
Like a
are
cop.
a cop? You
Like a cop. Legally distinct from a cop.
Okay. Well, Okay. Well,
You need to answer
no,
if
I
you
didn't
killed
kill
these
these
men.
people.
Stop asking me
No,
about my
I
stuff.
didn't kill these people. That guy over there is basically my grandpa. Like I I could I live with this man. I have a key to his house. This is not sounding good. Uh
You killed your grandpa?
okay, so I pull out the note that I have that matches the two of their notes. I'd be like, I got this note. It told me to come here. And I think you guys have the same note.
I'm going to interject real quick and just note, Cielo, you can see, I assume you're observing this, you can see that this note is written by the same person, which, given your background and what you would assume it to be, is odd. Continue.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Okay.
I got here first. I heard you coming because you're kind of a big guy. I hid because I thought this would happen, and then now it's happening. But I we got the same note, so there's
Ratch-
got to be a reason.
Ratch holsters the pistol. Matt, how long does it take to get mail in this fucking world?
How long does it take to get
Like,
mail? I will say this
yeah.
was not like in a mailbox. This would have been like stuffed under your door or something like that.
I just
This
feel like whoever sent us this is the guy who killed them, right? Because it would have happened before the murder.
that I will say is like it's weird, and also it is since you know what, since you mentioned that, I'll also go ahead and say this: there is like no law enforcement presence here. This is not a crime scene that has been investigated by cops, at least not yet. Take that as you will.
Interesting.
Sort of cops.
Sort of cops.
Sort of cops.
Maybe.
Legally
three,
distinct.
three people get a note about a murder before the cops find out? And then all have time to come here as well?
Yeah.
Seems to be.
I'm gonna take all the notes from everyone and compare them, and then be like, whoever sent us these most likely killed these men. So the question is, why us? What do we have in common that they would want to bring all of us out? You're related to one. Great. Do you know any of these people?
I guess I haven't actually checked if I know anyone yet. Can I take a quick look to see if I recognize anybody?
You don't recognize anybody. The only affiliation that you would have with this is, obviously, you have history with the Green Rock Gang, but beyond that, no.
And I guess recognizing one of them's Elgon's guy.
Yeah, but nobody that you know personally.
Yeah. No, this doesn't look like it has anything to do with me. I don't like the Green Rocks. And I'm half inclined to go tell Elgon that some Green Rocks killed one of his boys.
Are you affiliated with Elgon?
No, I don't like him either. If the two of them fought, it'd be quite nice.
I like you.
I like you too.
I'm afraid I don't, and you will be doing no such thing. And creeping out of the shadows, short sword. No, he has a rapier. Rapier drawn, pointed at each of you.
I draw 2 pistols.
Put those toys away, detective. You're far too large to use them. Now, you 3 didn't get the same letter. Us 4 got the same letter.
God damn it! Who did not get a fucking note?
And why then are you pointing a sword at us?
Good
Because
question.
we are in danger.
From the
and
man with
you-
the sword?
The men behind the man with the sword. I have worked for Elgon. I work for Dr. Clock.
I don't like you.
And if the Green Rock Gang and Elgon's mercenaries are to suffer a rift, our society loses the one strong governmental body it has for the near future. So there will be no such civil war.
Governments can be replaced.
I am respected in my profession, so the fact that I have been sent into this lot is very fucking perturbing indeed.
Is you moving your sword or your
Yes.
arm? So showing the sword.
Putting the
Alright.
sword back. Yes.
Ratchet's guns are still out.
Can I just take a moment really quickly to request that if anybody else is hiding with a letter? They speak up now? Okay. That's all I wanted.
Thank God.
Quite definitive, yes.
So, okay. Then, if Elgon and the Green Rocks aren't fighting, why did allegedly some of his men kill one of Elgon's?
To your credit, that is an excellent question.
And if somebody
Um,
wanted us not to figure it out, why did they invite a detective?
Good question. Usually people want me to solve crimes.
Then
They don't
maybe whoever
pair me
wrote
up
those
with
notes
criminals.
wants you to solve this crime.
Well,
Hmm.
there's one person here who's armed and has worked for two of the bigger criminals. So I think I solved it. It's you.
Detective, I was sent here to do a job. If I had my way and if things were going normally, you three would be dead and piled in a stack of 8 bodies outside of this site.
Okay, Hatch is gonna lead towards Jess's character. Just be like, it sounds like it's him, doesn't it?
Sounds like it would have been him if the murder didn't already happen.
Fine. We will team up with the want-to-be murderer who didn't get to murder the people he wanted to murder.
I am
You-
down for stabbing him in the back if he tries to kill us.
Well, 100%.
While they're going at it, Ciel is going to eye Iggy up and down and like, okay, these two are lost causes. What's the vibe I get from this guy? Is he reasonable? Can I talk to him?
Did
And
you
if
just
you
say that out loud, like in third person?
No. Sorry. He's like that's the way he's eyeing you up and down. I'm explaining my
Okay.
motivation. What kind of vibe, if considering what Ciel was looking for, would
Oh.
he get from Iggy? And I can roll something if you want me to.
I mean, he would get. He is very like jumpy, but also his like mentor like person kind of just is over there dead, and also he has some history with the Green Rock Gang, so he's not too comfortable. He's also wondering like, hey, should we be hanging out at an active crime scene that the cops have not showed up to yet, or should we get the hell out of here? Like, that's basically what I would be about to suggest.
Huh.
He looks like he's gonna bolt at any second, basically.
Now, as this interaction is happening, I have a question for Nikhil. Nikhil,
Yo.
where is the vial? Are you holding it? Did you put it in a pocket somewhere?
Oh yeah, no, I pocketed it after I showed it off.
Make me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Ah, there we go. 25.
25.
That's what we're talking about.
All right. It is almost imperceptible, but this is an active crime scene. You've got guns drawn. This is a tense moment. You are zoned in. You feel from the pocket that you stuck that vial in, like a little shake, like it just moved.
I pocket one gun and I grab the vial.
If you take a
I'm
look at the
gonna
vial,
assume what's his face is stealing it.
oh yeah, there is no hand anywhere near that pocket that you can find at least. But when you take a look at the gold inside, it seems the same. It looks solid until you move it. Moves like liquid, but it doesn't seem to be moving on its own. But you definitely just felt something.
Can I roll Arcana or something to see if I know what's happening?
Oh yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll Arcana on it, you can definitely do that.
Well, that's a 4. He continues to not be very good at this.
That's a weird little tube. Some stuff in there.
And you're holding that up right now, right? Like for all us
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
it?
everyone can see it.
Are you certain that's not dangerous?
Probably not. Looks like gold. Little more liquidy than normal, but
Then why don't we go find a place where we can't pour it out and see what it is? The only weird thing here, there's no reason to hold it out by a bunch of bodies waiting for the cops to show up.
A counterpoint.
Yes.
Whatever that is our greatest lead as to why these men were murdered. Of course it is dangerous in some sense.
Actually, a very good point.
this is a solid point. I hate to agree with the wannabe murderer, but
Yeah.
Perhaps we
So-
should not pour it out.
At this
Like
point,
into a
real quick,
bowl or something.
I'm going to cut in again. Everyone make me another perception check.
22.
22, okay.
Three.
Perception. I also got a 22.
Wow.
7.
7. Okay, well, this only applies then to Detective Hatchet and Seal, which makes sense. As you are all looking at this, you two, from the other end of the cavern, not the, I guess the tunnel. From the other end of the tunnel, not the one you came from, not the one that leads back to the city, the other side. You guys see a slight flash, not like a light, but like a light reflecting on something metallic, just for a brief second, like a flicker of the torch, something small off in the back of that cavern. Just a brief glint.
Hmm.
And I'll go ahead and say, and you know, I shouldn't say this because this is kind of metagaming, but this will give you an idea of how minor it is. The DC to see it was 20. So it's a very brief little flash that you guys, being the like weapons ready zoned in ones, did notice.
Would I have reason to believe that's likely law enforcement making their way down here?
From the direction, likely not, because again, this one is not the one that's going back to the city. It's the other one. I guess I should also say it's low to the ground. It is not like the flash of somebody's gun at chest level or anything like that. It is low to the ground.
Okay, interesting. Upon noticing that, I think CL would say, "Nobody move, nobody speak." And he would slowly creep toward the source of the light. Whether anyone listens to him is up to them. Not the
I'm
best
just gonna
first.
follow.
Now, from the phrasing, before anyone else had a chance to respond, from the phrasing, I assume you're being sneaky. If
Yes.
so, make me a stealth check.
That's 12.
A 12. Okay. As you sneak towards this thing, you get over to where you saw the glint. You do not see it again, but you get over to roughly the area, and you kind of root around. You don't really see anything reflective. It's just dull rocks. However, anyone who is looking at Hatchet, as CL is looking at this, you see very briefly this vial, the liquid in it, move. It sort of squishes itself up against the side of the vial in the direction of CL, very briefly, and then splooshes back down.
Oh, weird.
That thing's alive. That's a living thing. That thing just moved.
Hey, wannabe murderers, stop. What you doing? You're making the gold freak out.
I'm what?
You're making the gold freak out.
Someone explain?
It jumped in your direction. I think it's alive.
Very slowly, very carefully bring it over here.
All right, I'll do it.
I'm gonna follow.
It's not a huge cave. You take a couple steps over, show him the gold. It does not move again.
I swear, it was just moving.
And there's nothing interesting on the ground where the flash was seen. No.
I guess give me an investigation check, but nothing immediately apparent. If you get a high roll here, maybe.
Well, I didn't. I got a 9.
Rocks.
Rocks.
I think Pine would take her cane like a hammer and swing the handle down in the general area of the rocks as if she was being threatening to see if the gold reacts at all. Just onto the ground.
Gotcha. I like
which
where your
is
head's at.
probably quite
That
loud.
said, there is no reaction. There is definitely a sound of the cane striking on rocks that echoes down. You know what? In fact, You know what? Actually, at the first sort of smack, the gold does like shift briefly, but only at the first one. And I guess I should note, almost as if it reacted to the sound more than it reacted to like getting hit or anything like that. Just there was a very loud noise out of nowhere and it kind of shifted.
All right.
Interesting.
But that isn't, I'm assuming CL saw that, so now everyone has seen it move.
Mm-hmm.
Should we try talking to it?
Ratch will hold the gold out for her, for Pine to talk.
She kind of leans in and, trying to be not scary or intimidating, goes, "Hello? You're safe with us?"
Give me a... Okay, well... I'm going to assume that you're meaning this genuinely, in which case give me a... Give me a persuasion check, but given the presence of scary men with weapons, do give it to me with disadvantage.
Okay. And
Matt was like,
well, the
has some
first roll
note
was a
somewhere that's like, if they talk to the gold.
Second roll was
There's a flowchart for this whole scene.
Ooh.
And we're not...
So you're prepared for
there's a lot... I have so many options planned.
Yeah, so that comes out to a 13 total.
A 13? Yeah, it does not seem to have any notable reaction. Doesn't move. However, I think at this point, especially with that noise you just made, I know there's been a lot of perception checks, but this is a dark tunnel. Everyone give me another perception check.
Love it.
Come on, notice something.
17.
17.
Two 17s? Okay.
15.
Also 15.
Okay. Everybody hears. This is off in the distance. This is not like something that's immediately approaching you. You do hear fairly heavy footsteps coming back from the direction of the city. Not the direction you saw the glint.
Jeez, and it's the cops!
The other direction. From the distance right now, you can only hear heavy footsteps. And they are far enough away where you have some level of time to react. But somebody is approaching from that side.
Does anybody here have a good relationship with the cops?
No.
Okay, then we should go the other direction.
Very well.
We
Yeah,
all just scuttle
sounds
away.
good to
Is that
me.
the...
Hey, there's a flowchart. I got options for whatever nonsense you guys want to do.
All right, well, Ratch is going to start running away. Ratch is not
Hey,
on good terms.
if we want to look into this more, I know where we could go. We could go to his place where I stay, because there's not going to be he's dead. There's not going to be anybody there. It's just me. Go there, talk. It's not too far from here. And not be hanging around this crime scene. So
Wouldn't be a
Sounds
bad
good.
headquarters.
That's a good plan.
Okay,
I'm going to
let's
add
go.
a little bit of information here, which is that none of you guys are directly familiar with this mining tunnel. It's just one of many. It is unlikely that it loops back around to the city. It probably branches off as you go farther down, because you're fairly close to the city in the tunnel where you're at. But, like, whatever is approaching is probably blocking off your main path. If you want to go further out, who knows what you will find. And again, both options are valid, but so that you have all the information in hand before you make a decision.
So we hear this person or people, whatever, coming.
It does
heavy
only sound like
footsteps.
one person.
Do we
I'll go
see-
ahead and give you that, but yes.
Okay. Do we see any light?
At this point, you can probably start to see light coming down. In fact, I will actually make... This is so many things. Make me another perception check, because there's something you could get here.
21.
21. Okay, yeah,
17.
that's enough so the information can be communicated. This light is different than any that you have seen before. You have been carrying torches, so the light is, kind of orangey, flickering. This light is more stable. From what you can see, this seems to come from some sort of headlamp, which is a much newer technology in this world. It's not like the cutting edge necessarily, but like a headlamp that is more stable and does not use fire is like the higher end of mining technology right now, which is noteworthy because that's access
this
to
is
that is fairly
electricity.
limited.
This is electricity.
It's sort of like, you know, magic, electricity by way of magic, but yes, electricity. There's
Okay.
It's very magitech similar, but functionally electricity, yes. And also, just for note, this is approaching, and I am keeping track in my head, so you guys are going to have to make a decision, or this figure is going to get there.
I think.
Well, I would like to roll another stealth check then.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me, sure.
A hide.
Hide just in case.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I have advantage.
My,
While you're
my guy
rolling-
8-hided, so
Minotaur in the cave, just kind of.
How big is the entrance to this cave? Like how tall around is it?
It's not. I mean, it's a mine, so it's not massive. It's I would say the radius, probably like maybe like an sort of like an 8-foot diameter. That's I don't know how big mines are, but that sounds right. You know.
And does it slope downward?
Yeah, it's carved out of rock, so it's sort of rounded, but very jagged. Yeah.
Then I'm going to cast Silent Image
Oh,
in front of us to make it look like the cave has flooded.
Oh, interesting.
Just fill up a nice circle of it with water.
Gotcha. Real quick, I don't know if this was said and I just missed it. What did you get on that stealth check? Just so I have that on hand.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Continue, Jess. So,
I'm just make it look like the cave is flooded, right?
Okay.
We live underground. Water is scary. I think the best way to get somebody to not keep coming is to make them think this place is wet.
okay, cool. So you cast a silent image somewhere around this tunnel where it would be relatively believable physically that this cave has flooded somehow. I'm assuming that this also blocks your vision of the tunnel too. I don't think this is not a one-way spell, but you do hear the footsteps stop after a little bit, and then you hear kind of some muffled grunting voices. Actually, just one muffled grunting voice talking to himself, like, "Oh, what the hell? Flood." This has stalled this person for a minute. You don't know if they're going to turn around or try to push forward. But you have a minute where they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on for you guys to decide.
Concentration spell. I'm just holding it up.
Okay, I am going to. I'm going to make a roll. We're going to see if this character is going to try to touch the water or not. It's not the smartest guy, so all right, we'll do that. I guess it would be a wisdom check probably. All right. Oh, okay. That's a surprisingly high roll, which is unfortunate. After a moment, you hear like a sort of tapping sound, and then just a very confused grunt. No words to guarantee, but it sounds like this guy has discovered that something is amiss.
Anyone has an idea, I am open to it.
I want to see who he is, but we should all be running. If you do not think you can hide, run now. The rest will rendezvous. We go to the dead man's house.
I want to cast the mold earth cantrip.
Okay.
And basically make a hole underneath this guy so that he just gets into the hole and then we can just run past him.
Okay. For my note, how big of a hole can this make? Just like, is this like a foot? Is this... I don't know the cantrip rules off the top of my head.
Yeah, it says...
but yeah, mold earth and spells like that are going to be very good in this setting.
Yeah. I can make a 5-foot wide, 5-foot diameter hole.
Okay, 5 foot wide, 5 foot deep.
At a range of... Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you cast this spell, creating a hole. I will assume you put it in the illusion so that he can see it as he's going through.
Just right underneath him.
Oh,
like,
right up.
Literally, the stone that his feet are on. Just
Yeah, you hear a scream and a crash. This guy has clearly fallen into the hole. You guys booking it?
Use it.
That's the
Yeah.
plan.
Now, I do have to. You guys are gonna have to make me some checks here. First off, I will give the benefit of the doubt to everybody and say that from the context of hearing him fall, it was not a difficult sound. You can tell that there's like a hole there now. Still, everyone give me an athletics or acrobatics check, whichever is higher.
Oh no.
This is gonna be
19.
really funny if somebody fails it.
17.
17?
15.
15?
Let's see. Acrobatics. Oh, I'm good with that. 15.
15. All right, everybody succeeds, which is kind of surprising because as you guys rush out of this tunnel, you see as you kind of enter the illusion, there is now a 5-foot hole down in this cave floor. Though you are all you're all gonna have to do some pretty quick acrobatics to get past it, as the top 3 feet of the Goliath who was approaching are still sticking out.
Wow.
That's why I was asking about, it wasn't width, I was asking about the depth, but trying to be subtle.
Awesome.
So you
Yeah.
guys all sprint
It's a 5
through,
foot square.
very quickly kind of dodge around the torso of this man, but all manage to do it. I think we'll say,
Amazing.
since you're all booking it, you're gonna have to do this with disadvantage, but Ratch and CL, give me history checks as you run by. Man,
Nine.
those were
Oh,
all
with
so good strategies. I was like, oh, it's a Goliath. That's gonna be so funny.
History check. That's a whopping 7 with disadvantage.
Yeah, don't recognize.
I got no advantage or disadvantage, right? Just
Disadvantage because
Disadvantage.
like you're sprinting past this dude. It's not like you're investigating. It's do you recognize him from a passing glance?
That's a 12.
A 12? Yeah, I don't think you're gonna recognize him either. So you see a Goliath, but as you are sprinting through in the dark tunnel and can only see the top 3 feet of him, you are not able to get a bead on who this is, or if you recognize him or not. But that said, there does not seem to be anyone else going through this tunnel, so it's a bit of a trek, not too far, but you guys can head back to where you were going to meet up.
Do we know, or are we following? Sorry, I don't have the thing pulled up. Whatever Iggy's name.
Yeah. I would assume you're following me.
Okay.
But I was like, when I yelled cheese it, motion
It's like
for you guys to
Scooby-Doo.
follow.
Just up in the air. The
Yeah.
legs turn around.
And okay, I know we've done it a million times, but I'm gonna have you do one more in this scene. As everybody's running, make me another perception check. And I also do it with disadvantage. This is gonna be unlikely to see anything, but you guys are booking it.
It's a 7.
Nope.
I gotta do math. 12.
Nope.
This motherfucker has
I also
plus
got a
6
12.
perception, and he has not rolled a single good roll.
Hey, you did have disadvantage, so. Someone in chat said, "Come on, nat 20," which I love because, yeah, get the nat 20 on the disadvantage roll. That'd be funny for me.
Double nat 20.
Okay? I was like, did you actually?
No. No.
What did you guys get though? You're in the chat.
5.
5, and Jake.
12.
12.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh no, you're good. I probably just didn't hear. Okay. None of you see anything else as you are heading out. Now, I guess I
Alright.
didn't actually establish this beforehand, but I will kind of leave it up to Jake since it's the character from his backstory. What sort of area of the city did Jens live in? I'm assuming if he was just a regular miner, definitely not near the city center, probably somewhere near the outskirts.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not that far from like the entrance to
Yeah.
the general mine. Like,
Gotcha.
you know, not too far from where we were. In, you know, pretty meager housing. Like, he's not wealthy by any means, but
Gotcha. In that case,
Yeah.
you guys are heading to a very standard well, underground, obviously, but fantasy village. This area has not really been hit by a lot of technological advancements yet. That is starting in the city center and spreading out largely. And here, it's very much fantasy. These are the workers that are going and getting the materials for the people in the center of town. So not really much tech. There is still some level of magic in this area. Not many people are trained in magic, but if that comes up, there is magic available. But tech is not something that you're going to find too much here. But after a little bit of running, you guys are able to arrive at the humble home of Jens, the old miner.
Yep. And I'm not in a great space.
No, surely
coming back here, leaving his body there, like.
Ratchet is gonna immediately look around for clues about why this man was killed.
That makes sense.
May have been targeted for kill.
Give me an investigation check.
15.
15? All right, I will say, while you don't find anything that immediately would mark this guy for killing, what you can find is a work order of sorts that is recent from the coding on it. This seems to be the work order for the mining operation in question, where the incident occurred, and it seems totally normal. From your cursory glance over the things that they were getting, it was they weren't looking for anything specific or rare. They were just kind of getting normal stuff. Notably, though, I will say, you can probably get this off of 15. It was the first time that tunnel was used for mining, which is probably why there was so much stuff there. This is, the tunnel had been excavated, and this is the first time that people were actually taking materials out of it. But as for a reason why this guy is specifically, or would have specifically been targeted, you can't really find anything. He may have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay. He's gonna go up to Iggy and basically just be like, do you have any idea why someone would want to kill your grandfather?
I mean, not really my grandfather, but he was just a nice old man. He was letting me stay here for free. He's just a miner, man. It must have been, wrong place, wrong time, because there's no way anybody would want to kill this guy.
Had he ever gone to that tunnel before?
That specific one, I don't think so. I think that was a relatively new operation.
And who do I know from the paper who enlisted this job?
Yeah, so that's actually a good question. You can find a name. I admittedly don't have a name immediately available, but you can find the name of the person who would have commissioned this job on there. If you would like to investigate that further, I will just make one up. But yes, you can find a name in there. It seems legitimate enough from a name on a paper. It's not a recognizable name to you, but it's also nothing really notably suspicious. We will say that the name is this is giving me fancy names. Otis Perry. That sounds normal.
Otis Perry.
Yeah.
Okay. And I assume this is a handwritten document because I assume it was before.
Actually, you know what? Very rudimentary printing press.
Okay.
But yeah, not fancy.
Well, I think our prime suspect at this point is whoever commissioned the job, this Otis fellow, because someone knew these 5 people were going to get murdered, and someone knew these 5 people were going into this tunnel that no one should really be in. So I think, first step, we go find this fucking Otis guy.
If nothing else, he can tell us why they were murdered, what they were looking for, if there's anything different about the job. Seems like a good enough...
Also, I'm sorry, wannabe murder man, who hired you again?
That was good. I think again, Cielo wasn't really engaging with the group. He this whole time would have been storming through the house like, why me? Why am I here? Why was I included in a cavalcade of buffoons? Who did this? Why me?
Oh, so
Like,
you are.
no respect for the dead, going through every nook and cranny cleanly, but no stone is left unturned.
Yeah, and you don't really find too. I mean, I guess you could do an investigation check as well, but it's unlikely that you'll find anything unless you get like a nat 20. Maybe you can find something fun, but
15, yeah.
15. Yeah. Nothing beyond you would have found the same manifest that Hatchet did.
Yeah, so as you say that, what was the question you asked again?
Who hired you?
Cielo turns his head mid-crouch, pilfering some paper. And would I know who tipped me off to this, or who would have hired me for this?
That note is anonymous. However, in your line of work, anonymous notes showing up on your doorstep saying, go to this crime scene and see what's up are not that uncommon. So while you don't necessarily know who did it, like, it's not immediate suspect. It was likely you would assume that it would be someone in the Green Rock gang, whether that's correct or not.
Right. Unfortunately, the tip was anonymous, and in my line of work, it's common for the gang members to send the tips in themselves. That was my assumption. Clearly, I'm played the fool for assuming one thing.
Can I ask really quickly what your line of work is? And also, do you have a name?
Oh, do we know?
My name is Cielo Subeto. I am a cleaner. I take legitimate businesses on their first edifice and clean out the muck and grime that keeps the establishment standing for the good of the public perception.
And do you work exclusively for the Green Rock gang, or do you have a card?
No, I was mostly working for Leonin. I had pivoted to Dr. Clock as it is a more legitimate venture of the illegitimate ventures.
Both those men work for the Green Rock gang.
They're different factions, but ultimately they're different enough that it's like different branches under one guy. We'll get into that more later for the chat.
Considering one of the victims was one of the Leonin's boys, I don't think we could say they're so allied at this point, which is putting my 10-year plan into the test.
Actually, at this point, I think now's a fair enough time to give a little bit more insight to the audience on the structure of the Green Rock gang in question. The Green Rock gang is led by one notable figure who we will explain when we get to it. But under this notable figure who is rarely ever seen, there are essentially like lieutenants, right-hand people that all kind of command their own little factions. It's that kind of crime family type dynamic. One of them is Elgon, the Leonin, who of course is more of the muscle from what you've seen and is obviously involved in this incident. And then there is the one that Cielo has mentioned a couple times, Dr. Clock, who is not an actual name. His real name is Dr. Reuben Clark, but he is named Dr. Clock for reasons that we'll get into later. I gotta say,
I really love... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. You were going to say you love something, so go ahead. Compliment, please.
I love that Mike is calling him the Leonin. It's very like the Roman vibes from Batman.
Dr. Clock is a scientist, an artificer, who is largely responsible for a lot of the mining stuff that has, and the advancements that have been going on. It's not necessarily common knowledge among the public that Dr. Clock is affiliated with the Green Rock gang. All of you have your connections to the gang in some sense, so you would know this. He works for the gang because the gang provides resources and he gives them tech and sometimes weaponry in return. He is not as much he is an active criminal, but he's not like, I want to get power and be the richest guy. He's doing it. It's an exchange for him, which is why Seal calls it more legitimate of the illegitimate was the phrasing you used, which I liked.
Okay.
But yeah, with that, if anyone wants to investigate more here, you can, or you can go ahead and move on to the next phase of your investigation.
I'm good to go after this Otis fucker. I think that's
Want to go
Move
with that?
to.
All right. Go ahead.
Really,
I-
really quick, I would like to do something. I would like to roll sleight of hand.
Okay, sure. Also, some people in chat are saying that they're seeing like skipping in the video occasionally. I'm gonna hope that's a server error on like Twitch's part and will not show up in the recording, because I haven't seen the errors, but it seems like it's minor enough. Well, fingers crossed that's a Twitch thing. Anyway, continue.
14. On the sleight
14.
of
All
hand.
right. What is that? What is that for?
So there is a book
Mm-hmm.
that is out. Like, I didn't have time to like prepare or anything for anybody to show up at this place that I've been living. There's a book that's just out that I am trying to put back onto my person without drawing attention to it.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say, and if someone else thinks otherwise, you can disagree here. I think if you're gonna be reasonably stealthy, you got a 14. That's fine. This is your home. I don't think you taking something with a decent level of stealth would be noticed by anybody else. If someone else thinks they will be super vigilant, that's fine. But DM, I think that's reasonable that you were able to do that without attracting attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you guys are going to head out, obviously where you go will be determined in a second. But as you leave, as I think most of you have probably predicted, I'm going to need you all to do a perception check for me. No disadvantage this time. The only disadvantage last time was just because of the sprinting.
15.
15, okay.
19.
17?
Sorry.
Fucking 12.
12.
The detective.
Mike, if you said it, I did miss it.
Oh, I got a 15. My
15?
apologies.
Okay, all right. In that case, none of you see anything.
With a 19?
None of you see anything. Yeah, this is well, maybe you'll find out, maybe you won't. Who knows?
Ooh.
So, if you guys want to investigate this name, you have a few options of how to do it, essentially. And this would kind of depend on your characters. You guys would kind of have access to different things in kind of varying levels of legitimacy, basically. You guys can either go to one of the groups that oversees the mines and manages and try to investigate this name there. But those of you who would have criminal contacts could also try and check this name there and see if that turns anything up. I'll go ahead and say, for the sake of the live show, both will get you information, but they will get you different information. So you could split up if you wanted as well, I guess, but choose wisely.
I want to go the legitimate route, 100%.
I'm sorry, I moved something as I didn't hear if it was legitimate or illegitimate.
The legitimate one.
The
I wanna go to
legitimate
the
route.
mine.
All right, that's
Yeah.
one vote for legitimate.
I think the only way that I'm useful is the illegitimate route. So that's where I would be going.
All right, one vote for legitimate, one vote for. Well, I mean, you guys talk amongst yourselves. This isn't just a voting thing, but
I'm staying where the gold
so-
vial stays, so wherever Ratchet goes, I'm going. Or Ratch, sorry.
Ratch, yes. Ratch Hatchet.
I
Very
love the
different
name Ratch
than
Hatchet so much.
It's
Detective
so
Ratch
good.
Hatchet.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
Thank you.
This feels so weird talking to a detective, but I kind of used to be in the Green Rock gang. It's just like I was a nothing. I was a peon. I was a pawn. But I know other pawns. I know people who might know some things. So we could go. Well, I could go talk to some people and maybe figure something out. If that would be helpful. At this point, I kind of want to figure out why they killed Jens. If I can be of help to you in any way doing that.
I gotta say, I'm very disappointed in you being a criminal. But, sure.
I was a criminal. I was.
Once a criminal, always a criminal. for sure.
No,
No,
no.
yeah. But if we can use one of your
Okay, so
criminal
you are a cop. Okay.
I am
All right.
cop adjacent. The cops got mad at me for calling myself a cop, but you know what? It's fine.
I'm gonna
Listen.
call you a cop.
Don't do that
Honest.
because I'll get in more trouble. If we can use your criminal buddies to stop other criminals, I guess it's fine. But I will stop all of you, and I'm including you, in the future. That's just gonna happen.
They're not really buddies is the problem. Like, I could talk to a couple low level guys and probably be okay. But generally it's not good if I'm anywhere near the Green Rock gang. Like,
I will go
I won't survive it.
I offer to go with the pawn. It may do him well to have a bishop at his side.
Former pawn?
With the
Former
pawn.
pawn.
I'm gonna go with the peon over here. No.
Former
It
pawn.
was a long time ago. Hey, done things since then.
What is a good thing you've
Legitimate.
done? It better be really good.
I grew the mushrooms for Mr. Jens. You know, the mushroom garden in the back. So that we had some food.
You're underground. It's a legitimate food source. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I want
that's-
to make
yeah,
a joke, but
yeah.
I feel like that's valid. Sure.
Yeah, I did
It's a legitimate food source.
I did a bunch of stuff around that. You know, he was an old guy. He couldn't do everything here. I helped this guy. Let me stay here. I'm not getting in trouble.
Okay. You can
Nah.
be an informant. That's fine. Just don't let wannabe murder man murder people.
Yeah, he scares the. No. He's the kind of guy that would come after me. Yeah, no.
I love how Iggy, not that CLS slipped into this role, but I'm imagining the proverbial angel and devil on the shoulder of CL being like, yes, I am a criminal, I can get things done, I clean things up, and then Hatchet being like, don't do crime.
Don't do them.
That's bad.
They're bad. They're bad things.
If we ever get character art for this, I want a shirt of Hatchet in like a McGruff the crime dog pose, and it just says "Don't do crime" on it.
Don't do crime. Absolutely. Anyone ever does character art for this, have Hatchet pointing one of his pistols at Canyon. I beg you.
Oh, that's going to get made. That's going to get made. If you want to know what that is and you haven't watched the show before, go watch the older campaigns. Oh, go ahead. If
Worry
someone else
not,
was gonna say something.
Iggy. If I do any crime, you will not know.
I really don't like this man.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Sounds good.
Should we
If
split
everyone's
up
in
the
agreement.
gang?
Unless Jess hasn't waited. So if you're good, then we can go.
Well,
but-
just so she was going to go where you were going, because she wants to
Yeah,
stick
I
with
thought we were
the.
splitting
No,
the
I know
mysterious.
that out of character. I just saying she wanted to say. That.
Oh.
Well, detective, I feel like given your proclivities against crime, it may be counterproductive to have you around while talking to criminals if we want any sort of cooperation. So why don't we go talk to some good, upstanding citizens?
I can't disagree, but also let the two criminals
really gonna-
go do their own thing is not something I cherish happening.
You know,
Are we
where
really
one
gonna
of them
split the party?
lives.
Episode 1.
I'll work with it.
What was that? I was like,
You,
oh, shit.
you can. I'll work with it.
We're investigating a mystery. The gang has to split up.
And I will say,
God.
with the split as it is right now, you guys will have different experiences. So,
All right, fuck it, let's do it.
all right, cool. Let's see. The question then goes to me: which should I do first? Actually, we're splitting the party, and we're an hour and 45 minutes in. This is a great time to do our intermission bathroom break. So we are going to pause for a couple of minutes. I'm actually just now realizing I don't think that was what I forgot. I knew I was going to forget something. I didn't make a be right back screen for this. I only have the minute countdown starter, which I guess I could just put up and then it'll just tick over 5 times or whatever. So that's what we're going to do. It'll be edited out of the VOD anyway. No one will care. So we will be back in just a couple of minutes. I hope you are all enjoying so far. And there's a lot more fun stuff when we return. So don't go anywhere, and we will see you in a minute. And yeah, you guys can hear my voice right now, chat. This is just going to loop a couple of times. Don't worry about it. And we are back. Hello, everybody. As promised, there will be a pause screen next week. I can make that in 2 minutes. I just was making other things and totally forgot. So, we need to do like announcements again. No, we don't need to. We'll do them again at the end. I did decide in our brief intermission that I think it makes the most narrative sense to do the investigation of Iggy and Cielo first. So, we are going to start with you guys. Now, I have a question for Iggy. You were the one who sort of set yourself up, the one who's going to be initiating this. So,
yeah.
This is another question that's not going to mean too much to the chat yet. Well, no, they know the basics. Are you going to go to, or I guess not, are you going to go to, which of the 3 sort of factions of the Green Rock Gang are you investigating at least first? Like, you know, people who kind of align themselves more with one, or the other. You can pick any of the 3 to kind of check out first. Which of the 3 are you going with?
Right. Well, the simultaneously riskiest for Iggy, but also where he feels like he actually has connections is with Brant's men. Because he used to be one of them.
All right.
And so I think what he would do is that he has in his mind one of the guys that he used to like work with, basically, like a former coworker that he thinks like would give him the time of day and not immediately try to kill him.
Gotcha. Okay. So I don't think we've actually said the full name yet, but Elgon Brant is the guy's full name. So this is yes. the faction of the guy who one of the murder victims essentially is what the investigation is going. Which again, you're right, could turn up great for you, could turn up very risky. Cielo, are you cool with that, going along with that as well? All right, awesome. So with that in mind, you guys are going to head out to near the headquarters of. Actually, that's a valid question. I
know a tavern that he hangs out at.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask, are you going like to the headquarters, or are you going somewhere nearby?
No,
okay.
I'm not gonna go anywhere officially
Gotcha.
like affiliated with the mob, but I know this guy. I know his habits. Like, I'm gonna go where I think he'll be, when he's off the clock.
Excellent.
And try to talk to him.
All right. With that in mind, you guys make your way to. Since you're especially saying not somewhere official, I'm not going to make this like a notable location. I think this is very much like a hole-in-the-wall nothing bar that you are going to. Not like one of the notable criminal bar. You're trying to stay away from official stuff as much as possible, which also makes it easier on me because I don't have to describe as much setting for this. So, you guys head out to a fairly unremarkable bar to look for this contact of Iggy's, and given that this is someone you're familiar with, you are able to find him there. We will say that this is let's say it's a dwarf. It's an underground setting, or lots of dwarfs. A dwarf there, big red beard, standard, fantasy dwarf imagery. You see him over there in the corner of this tavern, big drink, talking to a couple of other guys. Seems fairly normal day, nothing too remarkable. I will say, this guy, though not like a higher up in the gang, doesn't seem like he's too stressed or anything. If he doesn't seem worried about the murder that just happened, whether it wasn't something he was involved with or he doesn't know about, you don't know yet. But Also, I guess so you can make a history check if you want to see if you know this guy. If he is just a low-level goon, probably not. But maybe you're well informed. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm not. I got an 8.
Yeah, you do not know this guy. And you are free to.
In that.
Oh, I was just going to say you're free to approach, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to go up to the bar and get 2 drinks. One for myself and one for this dwarf.
All right. Go get your 2 drinks. I'm not
I
going
mean,
to keep track of money for kind of things like this, so you're able to do that.
And I want to go, put the drink down in front of him, sit next to him. I assume he's drinking alone, as these types do, and just kind of sidle up next to him and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
This guy is a couple deep at this point, not incredibly drunk, but you can tell it's starting to hit a little bit. And he kind of claps you on the shoulder and goes, Digby, hey, it's been a while. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I would assume that he's like low level enough where he doesn't necessarily know what happened to me. Like, we don't always work together, so maybe he assumes that I still work for them, or at least have, like, I wouldn't say that he's.
It's a big gang. You can probably convince him of either. He hasn't thought about it enough at this point to have a decision. But yeah, whichever you can. I mean, it'll take rolls, but you can try to pull off whatever story you want at this stage.
Right. So I'd be. So you hear what happened in the tunnel? Seems like one of your guys ate it. One of our guys ate it.
He seems genuinely surprised at that. He goes, I mean, there's a lot of tunnels, a lot of stuff happening in the tunnels, but one of our guys, that doesn't happen too often. When?
No, it doesn't. Just earlier today. Not, just earlier today even.
At that, you see him kind of shift around a little bit, not in the sense of like, I know something, but you just told him one of his group was murdered earlier that day. He immediately kind of gets a little bit more on edge, starts looking around, and goes, "What is it? Do we need to get out of here? I mean, did Elgon send you?"
No, it doesn't seem. I think he was escorting some miners. Like a legitimate job.
He got killed on a.
Just,
I mean, all of our jobs are legitimate, but he got killed on one of the. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if you'd heard of it. It caught me by surprise.
No, I hadn't heard. Usually news travels pretty fast. They know who did it yet? I mean, Elgon's gonna put a bullet in their brain.
Yeah, he's not gonna be happy about that for sure.
This guy kind of like he sifts around for another second, just goes like, well, I mean, is there gonna like, do you need me to do? He kind of like pulls his jacket back. He's got a gun, just like he pulls it, not in full view, but he's like, are we going to get somebody? Like, I mean, I can,
I mean, I wouldn't know the first. I wouldn't know the first place to start. That's kind of why I'm asking around. I feel like I might be the one that has to break the news to Elgon, and I'd like to know a little bit more.
At that, he stops and goes,
before I had.
Wait, you're gonna tell him? Why are you gonna? He doesn't know. Why do you know and the boss don't know?
Because it happened. So the new tunnel, the one they just started excavating. I live right there. Live right by it.
At this point, can I sidebar and just to establish? I think CL has been like about the like skulking about the bar within earshot,
Yeah,
but
I
trying
assumed
to
you were
stay
listening in.
unnoticed. Can I roll stealth with the turn this conversation is taking to get up behind this guy in case I need to?
Go for it. Yeah.
That's a nat 20.
Yep, you're wherever you need to be. So after you say that you found out because you live nearby, this dwarf's eyes go even wider. You're like, wait, so you live nearby and so it's public? People know about it? He sits up quickly. Like that was enough to get him real quickly in ready to go mode.
I give him my beer that I have not touched yet.
There's another one.
To maybe help distract him a little bit. I was just wondering if anything weird has been going on. Like, have you noticed anything lately about, just anything weird?
Nothing weirder than usual. I mean, Elgon's I shouldn't call the boss a weirdo, but well, I didn't technically, did I?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I mean, do you know were any of the other people? Was it one of Clock's gangs that was like on the mining operation? Was it one of the legitimate people, or was it one of Clock's?
It was just some regular miners, and then one of our guys.
Who sent the miners out?
I don't know. I didn't even. I think Otis Perry. Does that name ring a bell at all?
At that, the guy stops again and kind of sits back down, even more confused. He goes, "That is one of Clock's guys. That's one of the aliases that he uses for any of his personal expeditions."
Interesting.
Why would Clock's gang have gotten attacked, especially if Elgon's guy was in the mission?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I really don't want to go, see the boss half cocked. I want to get my story straight first and make sure that I have something legitimate to bring to him.
At this point, make me
He's not
a
gonna be happy either way.
deception check, I think. Do an insight opposed.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. This not went on insight. I shouldn't tell you that first, but yeah. You don't even have to bother rolling for that.
Okay.
This guy kind of goes like, I mean,
drunk.
let's be honest, guys like us at our level, you're just gonna probably want to stay out of this one.
Yeah, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, well, keep your eyes up and your head down, Digby. And he kind of slaps your shoulder, guys. You're a good kid.
All right.
I think.
Awkwardly shuffle away from him.
Yeah.
All right. CL, do you want to do anything else in this scene, or at that point, do we want to, I guess, cut over?
Do I want to try to scare this guy to make sure this stays hush-hush? Because CL is very invested in this not getting out at this point.
That's your call.
He didn't do anything that scene. He'll go for it. Just like, not even drawing a knife, just like putting a finger around his neck and whispering into his ear. As far as you are concerned, I am no one. I am a specter, but it is very important that you know that information does not leave this room. Are we clear, soldier?
You're just like popping out of nowhere and saying that?
Yes.
After a nat 20 stealth check, give me an intimidation with a well-earned advantage.
Did this man even know you were there? Why are you threatening him to remember you don't exist? You're adding a
Well,
problem.
remember his other guy didn't exist.
And the
Well, whoever
conversation.
put me up to this knows I exist. Intimidation, that did only net me an 11.
An 11? That's within... all right, well, we'll see.
I was never here. I didn't know you were here.
This boy went from a nat 1 to a nat 20.
Wow.
So this guy... this shady elf man just pops up out of nowhere. This guy kind of looks you up and down, and he goes, I need to stop drinking. And, like, seems to ignore you as if he probably just thinks that you are some sort of hallucination. Like, just nothing doing to his actual level of fear.
Beautiful.
CL Shook just, like, awkwardly, like, almost like he's missing a few frames of animation, skulks away from him.
The Homer and the tree meme.
Just-
Yeah.
All right.
What is becoming of me today?
Yeah, it's not your best day, is it? I mean, it was good for this guy, good for this random gnome goon. But with that...
I love Nat 20 stealth popping out and being like, you didn't see me.
It is... The nat 20 into the counter nat 20 is very good. All right.
Amazing.
But with that, we are going to cut over to the other two. Now, you guys are going to have a bit of a longer walk because you're going to have to go closer to the city center if you're going to want to check for like one of the mining organizations. So if you want to have any discussions or talk about anything or compare anything on the way, you are free to do that. Or we can just time skip to you arriving. That is your call. I will leave that to you right now.
I think Pine would very much want to have a conversation with Detective Hatchet.
Love it.
Excellent.
So, Detective, you're against all criminals.
Yes.
Is it all crime?
Yes. I don't know if you knew this, my young friend. Crime is bad.
Interesting. Okay. And so you've never committed a single crime.
Well,
Someone clip that, please. Oh, we need to put that on the TikTok. That's almost certain. What's the timestamp? I'm writing down 2 hours 10 minutes. That's going on the TikTok.
sometimes you have to do what some consider to be a crime in order to stop those who wish to do what you consider a crime.
You know, I couldn't agree more, actually. And I'm starting an organization, if you will, to go against the organized crime that we have here in town. Just normal things, protecting people for a price, obviously, and doing some investigative work, finding information on people who are probably quite bad. And I'm curious if you'd be interested in joining up with us.
You know, the second part about the investigation, that sounds good. The for a fee protection sounds
Well,
like crime.
No. See, we're protecting people from crime. Well, it's security, right? You'd hire a guard that you pay them money.
You were describing, like, I don't know if I actually know this word, like a mafia situation.
For shorthand, the Green Rock Gang is that, but for shorthand, sure.
The mafia are criminals, though. We're a legitimate business. It's fundamentally different. We are stopping the crime that the mafia does.
Can we do it for free?
You would try to make people work and defend other people and risk their lives for free?
Called being nice.
Sure, but people have to eat. Tell you what, we'll figure it out logistically, because if the investigations turn out to be lucrative enough, we can probably do it for free.
Okay.
Get it on the ground level.
Private investigations, basically what I do. So I'll help you with that part. I'm not loving extorting people for protection.
There's no extortion. It's private security.
Okay.
The
Welcome to the
imagery
Pine
too of this
Street.
being a minotaur and a kobold having this conversation
Yeah, he's just
is
leaning
so
over.
good.
I don't know why, but the idea of this man hates crime, I want him in my fledgling crime syndicate that I'm building, did just like really stick.
Yeah, it's good.
You made
It's a
out
good
of
vibe.
character. Out of character, you made a wonderful case. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
This
Really?
campaign is now going to be retitled "The Downfall of Hatchet," which, as I'm saying, sounds like a real movie. But whatever.
I'd read that crime book.
Maybe that's the episode title. Maybe it's Infractions episode 1, "The Downfall of Hatchet." But we'll see if he falls all the way.
Crime syndicate almost got a second employee. Let's go. It's you and Irene, not Irene. I don't remember.
Yeah, a name that you have not mentioned yet.
Yeah, no one knows her yet.
We'll find.
You say that in character because that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
If
Yeah, sure.
you're just like you and Irene.
Second employee, you and Irene.
Irene.
My employee, my right hand. I can only afford to pay her part-time. She's not here right now.
I look forward to meeting her, assuming she's not a criminal. We'll sort that out in a second. Can we get to the place?
Yeah.
Yes, you can get. Well, maybe. There's more. So, I'll describe kind of where you guys are going here. So, as you get closer to the city center, the buildings are becoming, on a pretty linear scale, more modern. Obviously not to like our modern levels, but fitting the sort of noir kind of 1920s vibe. There's more metal that you can see everywhere. There's a little bit more like steampunk D&D artificer kind of vibes that you can see in machinery in the windows and such. The lighting is less torches and fire and more stable, be it magically stable or through some sort of new technology. And overhead, the sky is beginning to dim. Now, I mentioned this very briefly at the beginning, but I'll go over it in a little bit more detail. This is obviously an underground setting. The way that the day and night cycle works for this campaign is there is something that I call the seed light. Basically, thanks to, as the legend says, the actions of some mages a very, 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 very long time ago, there are these clouds of luminescent seeds that float around in the sky above the sort of floor level of the main cavern of Spondulix. And they rotate. They go in a cycle. If you know... Look, I don't really like flat earthers, but they do some good world building. The idea that, like, the sun is a spotlight that goes around the earth, it functions a lot like that in these shifting clouds that rotate around the central castle. So, right now, you are going through sort of the end of the seed light cycle. So the clouds of light are starting to move off of you guys, and the sky is starting to dim. As this is happening, as Jess is dying laughing, thank you for liking my joke.
You said the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't like flat earthers, but they do good world building.
Thank you. That's why I get paid the minor Twitch DMing bucks. Make a perception check for me, guys.
Love it. Let's see. We're gonna try a new system here for this thing.
Someone in chat, just I'm noting as you're doing that,
Terrible.
Nikhil, someone said compared to Canyon, Downfall is a marked improvement.
No, they said Canyon as if he was talking.
Oh no, you're right. I misinterpreted. Also
Yeah.
funny. Never mind. What are the rules from you guys?
Mine was a whopping 9. This is detective cannot see shit ever.
Hey, you'll have your day. It's just not this one.
So +6. He was supposed to be good at his job.
It'll happen, I believe. Jess, what'd you get?
And that one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're too busy thinking about your legitimate protection racket. All right. So you guys are moving on. Eventually, as the light in the sky is still starting to dim, you guys arrive at the headquarters of the mining sort of group. Not as much a company; it's still fantasy, so it's kind of loosely associated. But the mining group that sent out this operation. There are a few of them, but from the work order, you can tell that it is this one. Not a particularly remarkable one, not one of the major ones, just one of the smaller mining, I guess, like co-ops in a sense. But you're outside of their office. They're still open, though they'll probably close relatively soon. Go from there.
Well, I guess we're here. We should go and find our man.
Absolutely. What is it? How do I find Otis in this place?
You are outside the office right now. You can go in and look around, talk to somebody.
Oh, does
Your call.
Yeah. I want to go in. I want to look for any sign of where Otis is. Like, because Otis would have an office, right? If he's the name on a paper.
Possibly. You don't know.
Right,
Well,
I'll
I
look
mean,
for
maybe you've looked. This is the headquarters of the company. There would, if he's a legitimate guy, at the very least, there would be something about him here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to go find.
Cool. So you guys enter the mining company offices. It is a very small, like not even as much a lobby as kind of just a section of a larger room that has like a front desk and maybe 2 chairs next to it, and then some doors off in the back that are presumably offices. And there is a receptionist there who kind of looks up and greets you as you come in. Everything seems
Brilliant.
perfectly legitimate enough.
Ratch is gonna go up to the receptionist, lean over the desk, and very nicely just be like, "Hi, where is Otis? I need to speak with Otis."
This is, despite the very upfront presentation, the receptionist takes this very normally, kind of looking around back at the doors, and looking notably at one. It goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think Otis is in at the moment. Would you like me to leave a message? Otis rarely comes into the office."
How about instead of leaving a message, you don't tell him we came, and you let us into his office, and we'll just get what we came for anyway.
Give me the best persuasion check you've ever given in your life.
I can do it. Hold on.
Get that miracle roll.
That is a 17.
That's a good roll. I don't think it's good enough to convince the receptionist that you just met to let you into this man's office. She kind of pauses and goes, you seem like a nice enough fellow, but I'm not gonna do that. I really can take a message. That's perfectly fine. He takes out a pen and papers. It's really no trouble. I guarantee it'll get to him.
Can I join in at this point of the conversation and just be like, a message is good, but this is urgent. There are 5 dead men, including one of Elgod's boys. He seems to have been killed by the Green Rocks, and as you can tell, that could cause lots of problems if that information got out.
I love
Hopefully...
I love the... I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just love it.
Random
It's like, please
you
let
don't
me
get
into
it.
this guy's office. No. Then Kobo walks up. 5 men are dead.
I think
I want this information out, and Seal wouldn't let me do it earlier, so this is...
No, this is great.
It's
Yeah.
such
No,
a...
Ratch is fully on board.
it's a hell of a move
Actually-
to tell a background character the plot of the movie, but
That's-
sure.
I'm calling it now. That's show title. Episode 1, 5 men are dead, because people are going to think I'm referencing something serious, and then no, it's referencing this moment right here, where this... Also, just the wild thing of introducing this presumably innocent woman to the crimes of the mafia. Like, wow. All right.
Wait.
We'll-
Or
As soon as-
Pine.
As soon as Pine says this, Ratch is also gonna be like, if you try to stop us from going to that office, you are actively stopping an investigation, which is also a crime, for the record.
Okay, so as you just bombard this woman with a lot of information at once, what a roll needs to... I'm tempted to say an intimidation check.
Oh, I was hoping for an intimidation.
Okay,
check.
okay,
Can I
yeah.
get a +6 on those?
I will. How do I want to? You're tag teaming this. One of you make an intimidation check with advantage. So just whoever has it higher, make it with advantage. We'll say that's the 2 sort of help action.
I do think mine's higher, but I think Ratch was the one who made the final threat with the you're impeding an investigation thing. So I think it's
I
on
did.
you.
I'm just doing this like
Yeah.
a modified help action, whichever works.
I mean, mine's +7 for intimidation. I'm a fucking
Oh,
minotaur.
damn.
It's fine. Yeah. Ooh, that was a good roll. Finally, 23.
Did you do it with advantage
Yeah.
too?
Oh no.
You can maybe get it higher, which you don't need.
Oh,
but
I
just-
did 26.
Okay, I'll roll for this lady, but it's a formality at this point. Yeah, she didn't get a 20, so she's fine. She's not fine. After politely declining this invitation to do a crime and being not yelled at, but really just told a lot of very harrowing things at once, we'll phrase it that way. You briefly see flash through this woman's eyes an evaluation of how much do I really value this? I I don't care enough to get involved in this kind of thing. If I get in trouble, I'll just say that a giant minotaur intimidated me into it, and that's fine. So, you kind of see her just, like, look down at her papers and, like, flick her eyes over to the office door. Be like, yeah. Not officially saying you can go in, but not looking at the door, you know?
Is it, you said she and he now. What is the gender of this person?
I have intended to say she. If I said he, I misspoke.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And he's gonna tap the desk and walk right into the office.
All right.
And Pine will just silently follow.
Okay. Both of you give me a perception check as you go into this office. Yeah, if you want to do an investigation, I'll have you do that separately.
My God. 12.
Hey, you got the 26 to get
9.
in. 9? Okay, well, it's an office.
My Minotaur is blind.
I think it's thematic for the
Oh,
Minotaur to be
this
like,
is
well, the
fine.
investigation's not all there, but motherfucker's intimidating.
Nikhil, can I pitch a bit to you? Can I pitch a bit to you live on air?
Is the bit that my Minotaur's blind? Because I was joking.
In a way, I was gonna say, and I will not make this matter too heavily mechanically, but I do think that it would be really funny if Hatchet was canonically colorblind and also just sees everything in black and white, which also explains. I think that would be great.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay,
why
cool.
not?
That's canon. That's canon. Again, I will not be mean enough to like make that heavily matter, but that's canon now.
Justice
my
is
God.
colorblind.
Okay.
Detective.
Damn, that would be another good show title. 5 Men Are Dead is still better than.
Wait!
Uh,
I fucking love that so much. Holy shit. If we ever do like how we did the t-shirts,
if we do
specifically
merch,
more with the
we'll do
lines,
Justice is Colorblind.
Absolutely. Justice is colorblind. Stealing it. You're amazing.
Write it down, Nikhil. Write it down.
So good.
So you go into this office, and yeah, with those roles, you don't see really too much around. Well, there's actually a lot. It's a very cluttered office, but like you can't. It's so cluttered that you can't really make out a lot of specifics just from a sort of cursory glance. You can look around more, but that will take time. You're not supposed to be here technically. It's up to you. You
He
do not
doesn't
see
come
anything-
by, right? So like, there's
that's
no
true.
real time limit.
Yeah, that's true.
Although if we are worried about time, how strong are you?
Me?
You're a Minotaur.
I am big. I'm good strength.
Think you could carry a desk?
Matt, can I carry a desk?
How about you try and see what you roll?
All right. What is it? Do I just roll strength like straight?
I okay. When you say carry the desk, tell me what are you trying to carry this desk out of the office and
what
just
I'm
take
envisioning-
it?
What I'm envisioning is yes, we're picking up the desk and everything on it, and we're walking out the door.
I figure the
This is,
detective
I will
carries
say
the
this is
desk, and
exactly the vibes I kind of expected this
Oh.
campaign to be, so hell yeah. It's gonna be even better later. But all right, we're gonna have to get your dice ready. There's gonna be a lot of rolls involved in this.
Oh god.
So
Let's go.
first off, go ahead and give me an athletics check just to see if you can lift this desk.
Oh, my athletics is not actually that hot. We will try.
Well, I mean, it's a bonus off strength, possibly. It's not gonna be worse than your flat strength.
Okay, that was a fucking 9.
Okay, well, this bad plan ended very quickly. Yeah, you're not gonna be able. It's a big, heavy wooden desk. Even if you could lift it, you're not gonna be carrying it out of this building.
Oh, yo, one day I'm gonna roll well.
You did for
That
getting
text
into the
can
office
slay.
that you then tried to steal a desk from.
Hey, it would have made sure we had all of the evidence.
No, I know.
Just-
I think it's brilliant, Jess.
Love-
Amazing.
I love how much you guys have thought through step 1 of this plan and none of the future ones.
That's how life works. That's how these games always go. You figure it out
That's
in
how
the
life
moment.
works, says the guy playing the detective. Okay, so the woman outside hears the grunt and then subsequent thump of Detective Hatchet trying to steal this desk, but the 26 intimidation was
This-
enough to
this
not make that
fucking-
mean something.
this fucking Minotaur just straining the lifted desk.
I do think that pretty. I think that cemented you from chat as one of the fan favorites of this already. Anyway, with the desk not
my God.
stolen, what's your plan now?
Well, I guess to root through it
Okay.
like a boring, non-strong person.
Give me investigation checks, both of you.
Oh my lord.
Strawberry dice, be nice to me.
Oh, that's a 4.
21.
That's kind of insulting. That combo.
Ratch is terrible. I'm gonna change this man's stats to reflect how bad he is now.
Well,
Just to stay in character.
Hey, he has an arc. He'll have an arc. He'll have an arc. That way, when he gets good at rolling, we can call it character growth. Okay, so Pine, as you are looking around this office, you find a lot of boring things that you would expect from someone who manages mining operations. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a couple tools. There's some rocks. Notably, there is not a single, personally identifying thing here. There is not a single, paper or note that has anything to do with a life outside of work. There are no, well, not really pictures in this era, but there are, no drawings or anything of other people, no evidence of a family. It is entirely work stuff in this very cluttered office.
Good work-life balance that man has.
Yeah, this man works hard, cares a lot about his job. Probably trying to hide his identity.
From there, though, you don't find too much that you can get other than... sorry, what did you roll?
21?
Oh, 21 is actually a little bit better than I thought. In my brain, I registered it as lower. I will say, not that this is too surprising because the other group kind of already figured this out, but I'll add it just for flavor. If you look around at the tools that are around this office, some of the tools are of better quality than you would expect from the rest of this building and the rest of this sort of mining group, and also from the group that you saw out in the mines. They're higher tech, some to a notable level. Not stuff that people would notice from just kind of opening the office and looking in, but if you're rooting around trying to find things that are suspicious, there's some better, more advanced technology in here than there reasonably should be.
Anything
That's
worth
a really
taking with
fancy
us?
stapler.
Anything worth taking? Do I want to give you a cool magic item right off the start? You have done some mystery solving stuff. Do I want to reward you with that?
I will not be hurt.
yeah.
I know it's very early. Also, yeah.
You know what? I will give you a cool magic item, but I'm not going to tell you what it does. Actually, make me an just a flat intelligence check. We're going to see if you can parse out what would be worth taking in here.
That'll be a 15 with my intelligence modifier.
A 15. Okay. The most notable piece of tech here, the thing that looks the fanciest, that has little vestiges of magical energy on it, is a hard hat of some kind. But it is not. It has it's a hard hat and it has a headlamp on it. That definitely looks more complex than your average headlamp. But you cannot tell from looking at it what it does. You'd have to either test it or poke around with it. But it is clearly some sort of advanced technology that might be of use.
I'm going to pick it up, look directly over at the crime-hating detective, and say, I'm bringing this evidence with me. It's far too high-tech for just a normal man to have laying around, and I think we can learn more from it. And put it on my head.
All right.
Ratch, who currently still has stolen gold in his pocket, is fine with that.
Hey, that you didn't technically take from anyone. It was just in the... Well, you did take it off a body. Never mind.
Yeah.
You didn't take it from anyone alive. It's not theft if they're already dead.
Oh, actually, wait. Even better. Ratch he'll leave a note. It doesn't say who he is, but it just says, took helmet.
Excellent. I think this will really clear things up.
Same energy as a note on a car that just says, sorry I broke your window and no contact information.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's just
it
clears his
one
conscience.
helmet.
This is the best
I owe
day
you
of
from Dumb and
hindsight.
Dumber.
Okay.
Because This man's gonna come in, ask his secretary who the hell was in there, find out that maybe Green Rock people killed the man that he hired. This is gonna start all of the shit that we want. I just wish there were more people we could tell this news to. We've been looking for a way to hurt this gang forever.
I'm sure that you will have your opportunities. Now, I'm going to actually let me make some rolls for things that are happening outside of your view, which is always a fun thing to hear a DM say.
I think this dice might be weighted to paint me.
Okay, that's notable. Oh, that's not actually that good of a roll, though I do believe advantage. Okay. I'm gonna need both of you to make perception checks.
Oh, okay.
That's historically done very well for me.
Perception.
Three.
A fucking 12 again. This might be weighted. I don't believe this.
12 and 3?
Roll 2, got that +1.
Okay.
Hatch is busy writing notes.
In that case, and this is going to sound weird, but I promise I have a reason for it, though if you roll low enough, you might not get to learn it. Hatchet, make me a second perception check.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Come on, buddy. Okay, 20. Dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Yes,
okay.
Now we're getting somewhere.
As you said, you explicitly actually said you were like leaning over the desk writing this note, right? That was okay. Yeah. So that was as this is happening. You feel something in your pocket moving, in the pocket where the gold vial is.
Okay. I go to grab the vial again.
You go okay. Now you phrase that in an interesting way. You said you go to. Do you like just reach your hand down there? Or
yeah,
are you,
yeah.
Okay,
like,
okay.
You know, I'm imagining it feels like something's moving, so I just kind of like grab it.
Okay, in that case, the thing stops. But as you look down on the desk, it's a very cluttered desk again. You see something there that you didn't notice being on the desk before, near the pocket. And it is a fairly large, surprising that you didn't notice before, actually life-sized golden statue of a cat. A pure golden cat with green emerald eyes.
Oh god, you and your fucking green emeralds, man.
Oh, well, yeah, most are green, but...
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'll explain why that's the thing in the after show, actually. I have reasoning for that I learned, but later.
What do I do with a fucking cat?
There's a statue there. It wasn't out there before. It's there now.
He's gonna poke the cat.
You're gonna poke the cat?
He's gonna poke the cat. See what the cat's doing.
It's a statue.
It doesn't move or anything?
It's a golden
I don't
statue.
Know.
It feels
One
like a
thing
golden
of gold
statue.
keeps moving. Maybe the cat would move.
It's a gold statue of a cat.
Alright, Ratchet's gonna take the cat.
You take it. I should know. It is like a cat-sized.
I'm sure I can carry a cat.
Oh, I know. But my question then was just like, are you just carrying it, or are you like putting it in like a bag or something? Just for my reference.
No. So like, is it like curled up or like how? What kind of?
It is.
Cat's in?
It looks like a hairless cat, but it's a statue, so it kind of does. But it's just sort of sitting up, like.
It's just a sitting cat. No,
think like not aesthetically this, but like Egyptian cat statues, how they're kind of like sitting, back on their hind legs.
He's just gonna palm the cat. I don't know how big a cat is compared to a minotaur, but like.
Yes, I forgot you were a minotaur. So yeah, that's not that. Yeah, you grab the cat statue. Pine, notably, you see this now. That also you can tell it was probably not there before.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah, I don't understand fully what's going on with all the weird gold.
Have you tried talking to this one?
Hello? It's a statue of a cat. I don't know. This one doesn't move so far.
Okay. I think we should leave with these things that we have. Maybe leave a note for Otis so he can come contact us. I think we have a friend with some reputation that he'd probably find.
Okay, he'll put the cat down for like a second, and he'll just write also, if curious about cat, come to Rat Hatchet PI office. No address or anything, just that.
Okay,
And then he'll take the cat, and then he'll walk away.
got it.
Everything we wanted.
Uh,
Excellent.
so as you're leaving, Pine, you still have the hard hat on your head, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as you're leaving, the receptionist kind of looks and notices that you guys both have like pretty noticeable items that you definitely did not have walking in. And she kind of goes, "Oh, don't please." Okay.
Oh, actually, wait. I asked the receptionist about the cat.
She kind of looks at it and goes, I don't think I've seen it before, but I haven't gone through Mr. Perry's things.
Were you aware that Mr. Perry commissioned 5 people to go excavate an unused mine?
I don't look at all of the specific deployments. I'm more just the reception for the office, but I'm sure if there was a new mining excavation, it was well researched.
Who would have done this research?
Usually the person who does the deployments is the one that determines the deployments.
All roads lead back to Otis. Lovely.
Yeah, this is a receptionist.
I mean, yeah, but still, I would have liked another lead. I guess we'll go rendezvous with the others then.
All right.
Yeah, I think we just go back home.
I assume that you two are also going back. If anyone wants to stop off somewhere else, not that there's like established places, but if you want to check somewhere else, you're welcome to. I'm happy to give you more info on certain areas of the city, or you can all head back and meet at Iggy's place.
I'd like CL to actually talk to Iggy as they're walking back.
Of course.
First scene. CL is visibly like more shaken than you would have seen him after that massive failure and also the revelations. So he says, Digby, is that your name or was he disrespecting you?
He was drunk. He was drunk. It's Iggy. Iggy.
Just Iggy.
Yep, just Iggy.
And so, Iggy, what motivated you to leave the Green Rock Gang? What had you think you had any life after it?
That's kind of personal. I just, things didn't really go well for me there. And so I just left. Was done with it because it was not, it was not a good situation for me.
For what it's worth, I disagree with your perspective. I've met men for whom the Green Rock Gang did not go well. Each and every one of them were corpses.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky, but got my share of corpses that I'm no longer acquainted with.
You'll see no judgment from me. I've seen plenty of skeletons in plenty of high-profile closets. But you are an interesting one.
Weird brag, man. It's a weird brag.
Strange flex, but okay.
I have been described as socially off-putting.
I really
It is
thought
not
you were going to say
perfect.
awkward.
Can't imagine why someone would say that.
Oh my lord.
So, are you surprised that Dr. Clock seems to be a little more involved with this? Seems to be what we learned, huh?
Surprised is a very, 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 very small word to describe the pit in my soul at the moment. The plan for the rest of my life somewhat relied on these factions being allied and somewhat fluid. So I am taking very deep breaths acknowledging that it is gone, letting it go, and yes, being rather fucking surprised at the whole ordeal.
You had a plan for your whole life.
Well, yes. If you look around the kingdom, decay is evident and growth in other areas is evident. You need to pivot your life, and in the chaos, you may even create something better for yourself. It was all... I had a corkboard, and now I just have a weird migraine.
Boy, Mike, you
Yeah.
really... When you do these speeches, you come up with the most insightful but also depressing statements. I had a corkboard and now I just have a migraine. Whew! That was
never played a
gutting.
I've never played a session with you where your character wasn't having some sort of existential crisis. Are you okay?
You
This
just
one's
go-
like in control.
Listen, when you go, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And
That's
go-
another great line, Mike. My God.
being punched when you have a plan results in panic every time. You had a plan.
To be fair, the plan did rely on the stability of organized crime, which maybe not the best plan, but hey.
Also, the organized crime getting along with each other.
Yeah.
We're like very much rooted in these different mob bosses are gonna be friends forever.
Look, he's clearly he's clearly a weird scumbag, but he's an optimist.
It's also a good line. Damn.
Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Is like, I want that tattooed on my body. That is a motto, man.
It is definitely something I've heard somewhere else before. I can't say that is me, but like.
Hold on. Chat. What's that from? Chat.
It's some boxer.
Mike
It's either
Tyson.
Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, according to them.
Yeah, someone said Mike Tyson, and then someone else said Mike constantly spouts top-tier lines, and I think they were referring to Mike Funny Boy, but that could have been another person saying it was a Mike Tyson quote, and I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, chat will figure that out.
Oh, man.
Oh, also, I'll take this time. Someone said, are they playing every week at the same time? Yes. The show is live every week, Friday, 6 p.m. Central Time here. And then it also goes up on YouTube and Spotify and other podcasting platforms every Wednesday. You can find all those links at thedndorks.com.
Oh, it is in fact Mike Tyson.
It is Mike Tyson, so both. It is both. Anyway.
All right.
Now, I will say, Iggy and Seal probably arrive back at the house first, which is fitting because I also had that conversation. So after that conversation is done shortly, then Detective Hatchet and Pine arrive back at the place.
Okay, criminals, what did you learn?
Can we stop with that? Can I just be Iggy?
Okay, Iggy the criminal, what did you learn?
It's better.
It seems like his doctor guy is Dr. Clock is more involved than we thought.
He's making a
Indeed.
move.
He made the move. The office you raid was that of a pseudonym of Dr. Clock.
He got a whole office for his pseudonym?
To be fair, clearly it was needed. His receptionist is not very good at security.
It just seems like a lot of overdramatics.
Well,
Yeah,
Change your name.
one fake office for a mob boss. Oh yeah, that's way too much.
I don't know what you do or do not know about Dr. Ruger Clark, but he's a bit fucking meticulous. It's kind of his whole deal.
Is he hard to get an appointment with? Because I think we might actually have one scheduled at the detective's office. He left a wonderful
That's true.
note.
That's
telling
true. He's
Detect-
gonna come by.
Mhm.
We could just wait in my place until he stops by for his cat.
I don't
His
think
what?
that's a good idea.
His what?
Oh, show them the cat.
Oh yeah, cat.
Cat.
Don't take it.
It's mine.
Well, actually, it's Clock, so I gotta give it back when he stops by the office.
These are the non-criminals. These two.
We took it.
The non-criminals.
It's evidence. Tell them. It's
Golden
evidence.
cat.
It's evidence.
I didn't
the
come
cat
back with any
moved, it
golden
was there.
statue, and you calling me a criminal here?
The cat wasn't there, and now it's there. And also, for the record, I believe there's place in society for a reformed criminal. If you'd like to join my organization, let's talk later. But anyway,
Maybe.
Criminals
The
cannot
cat is
reform.
there.
Where did the cat come from?
That is the question.
a very good question.
How did you find the cat?
Well, you
really
see,
found out.
yeah, like so there was not a cat. We're pretty in agreement about that. And then there was a cat.
So the cat found you.
The cat found us.
Do you, the,
So maybe it is our cat.
a golden
Cat distribution system.
cat manifested in your arms.
Near my arms, yes.
Have you checked the vial?
I'll pull out the vial too.
Vial seems normal
Got
enough.
cat in one hand, vial in one hand. Not doing anything.
Well, I mean, normal relative to its weirdness.
Can I make an Arcana check on the cat?
Make an Arcana check on the cat.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, we should have thought to do
Investigate
that.
something.
I'm really surprised.
That's a good idea,
yeah,
bud.
I don't think anyone's even made an Arcana check on the vial. No, I think someone did and got like a
I think
4.
you did.
I
I
said
think you
this-
did
yeah,
earlier.
someone did.
It was not
got a
good.
really bad roll on it.
I said this earlier when we were off for the break to Matt, but I forgot that like by playing a detective, I should know how to do detective things, and I myself am not a smart man. So
Hey, this will be a
I got a
learning
15
experience.
for Arcana.
A 15? Okay. Jess, did you also say you were going to do that?
Oh no,
Oh,
my
okay.
Arcana's not
You
good.
just said
There's no
someone
point.
should. Got it.
What would my
And I heard the 15. I just
doing?
if anyone wants to make an Arcana check
Oh,
or any sort of check,
I want to do it too because why not?
I will note anyone can make like for a mystery type thing. Anyone can make any kind of check they want pretty much at any time. Might not always be helpful, but if you want to investigate something, just let me know.
Okay, I'll do one too. I got a 16.
Okay, I'll get all of them and then
I rolled weirdly good. I got a 19 on
a
Arcana.
19. Okay. And what did you get, or did you? if
I
you
got
s-
16.
a 6. Oh, okay. So 15, 16, 19. All of those are pretty good.
Oh, I got a 20.
Oh, good. So everyone's
Okay.
gonna
Yeah.
like-
So yeah, great. Good job, everybody.
I would like in universe for Iggy to also have like I don't know what an Arcana check is in universe, but like him just like have you guys looked at the cat? And then we all
And then everyone else turns and gets a higher roll than Nikki did. But yeah, so look for note, Nikhil, and anyone else who's not super familiar with D&D, Arcana is basically magical knowledge.
No, I know. I mean like in universe what they're doing when they check.
Oh yeah. I mean, you would
he's
just be like, look,
Fine, fine.
using any sort of minor magic stuff, or things that resonate with magic to like check. It's the same thing for investigation, but it's separated for magic. Basically, is how I sort of treat it. Though DMs treat it a little bit differently. Anyway, the cat's definitely magic, and the vial is definitely magic, and they are definitely the same kind of magic. Not, though, a type of magic that any of you are familiar with.
Can we get a sense of if the gold vial is deadly at all?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 16.
If we assume that you guys are sort of sharing information between yourselves, which I think is reasonable, I will say none of you, like I said, none of you have seen a magic type like this before, but like it also doesn't resemble any sort of like dangerous. It doesn't feel like a poison, it's not like going to explode if you open the thing. It doesn't register with like very dangerous, unstable magic. I'll phrase it like that. It seems like, how do I phrase this? It doesn't seem dangerous. If anything, it seems unpredictable. I'll phrase it that way.
Okay. I know it's the thing that everyone in the chat wants us to do, but I cannot find a good reason a character to open this fucking vial.
Yeah.
No,
bad
you,
plan.
I should note, while Chad is saying this is disrespected, like, it is not a scripted thing that you guys have to open the vial. If you do not want to open the vial, don't open the vial. It is
No, I
entirely
would love
up
to
to you.
open the vial. I just don't think it's a character at all.
Yeah, and I want to point out, I do not intend to railroad you toward that option. So.
Look, all I know is it reacted to sound, and that's the only time we've intentionally got it to react to anything.
But then didn't it not react again? Like after?
It didn't. Yeah.
I will say, kind of going back to illustrate that moment more, it wasn't as if it like reacted to sound. It was more like there was a loud noise that scared it, as a loud noise out of nowhere tends to do. And then, you know, the second and third loud noises are not going to have that same reaction.
Okay.
Yeah. But that means it can hear us.
Yeah.
I will also say, if you're saying this, if you're saying it reacted to loud noises out loud, that probably would not scare it if you make a loud noise right after.
I will. But also the thing is, like, we already came to the decision that it was alive, probably.
It is reactive to stimuli, which is a part of life.
Man, I swear to God, if you made like a weird golden symbiote, I'm gonna be mad at you.
I mean, it's on brand for me. Who knows if that's what I did?
I know it is. That's why I just said that I will be mad at you.
I'm not going to answer until you guys figure out the mystery.
Someone get fired.
Well, you're not going to figure out the mystery in episode 1, but until you guys get a little bit
What if we did? What if we fucking did? What if we were just like, it's that guy?
I don't think you
Mystery would
can.
change.
Give me a rundown of every character.
This is a 10-episode series. If I gave you every single possible clue to solve the puzzle in episode 1...
Have you never seen Scooby-Doo? It's supposed to be the first guy we talk to. If anything, it should be the receptionist. That's how this works.
I, Dr. Clock, was the receptionist the whole time.
We need to have a dog for our team, actually. No.
I mean, you have a cat.
A cat. Golden cat.
Anyway, you have come to the determination that this stuff is magic. Very much so.
Mm-hmm. The cat was found in the doctor's office. The vial was found on the doctor's man. The cat and the vial have the same magic.
The vial was found on the Lion Man's man.
Oh, it was found specifically on the mercenary, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So, what is the
Dr.
Lion Man's
Clock-
name again?
Elron?
Elgon, yeah.
Elgon, yeah.
So Elgon, we know there's a feud going on between Dr. Clock and Elgon, which means that we need to go talk to Valentine, or see what his play is on this. Because two of the three factions are upset. The third's the only one left.
There is a third
May
faction.
I put forward that Doc Clock and Elgon may have been working together, and it may have been Valentino's men that killed them?
That's what I'm saying. We need to find whatever Valentino's role in this is. If the Green Rock gang is splitting up, we have one unaccounted for faction.
That's true. Let's
That
go
is-
tell Valentino
that is true.
exactly what happened.
For the record, it is Valentine, which was what was said first, and then someone said Valentino, and then everyone else just also started saying that.
Just said Valentino, and I assumed I was wrong.
For
so
the
I just
record,
blamed
it.
their name is Valentine, but we'll get to that later.
Disrespecting.
Isn't Valentino from Has-Been, right?
I have not seen Has Been yet. I probably will at
Is that
some
what you
point,
were
but I've
thinking
not
of?
seen it yet, so maybe. I don't know.
Trying to be
good.
disrespectful.
We'll talk about that later. I do need to watch it though. But yeah, there is a third faction, the faction of the Changeling Valentine, and you can go. I'll give you more information about that when you get there, if that's where you want to go check now. I will say it is getting very late at this point. Like, it is nighttime, so you guys can try to go now if you want. I mean, it's not you're doing criminal stuff. You could probably still do that at night, but just note that in your planning.
I would like to present an alternative train of thought.
Okay.
In the event that these two factions are fighting, I think it unwise to bring the third in, as if that will not be a more combustible element, and we will be at the center of it. No matter
I'm not
what
very
respect
excited
you
about
have.
going to see Valentino either.
I will also add just
Valentine may not know.
That's no bit. I will
Sorry,
add a little. I was gonna add a little bit of exposition for the benefit of the chat and also a recap for everybody else. While Elgon seems to be the sort of muscle faction of the Green Rock Gang, Dr. Clock is the intelligence faction. Valentine, if anything, is the diplomacy faction in a sense. They are a changeling. They are the least publicly affiliated with the Green Rock Gang. Most people would not know that Valentine is a member of this crime family, but you guys are all, in one way or another, you all have history with the gang, so you would know this.
I also, I don't know if it's ever going to be relevant, but I've just decided that Ratch hates Valentine the most. He seems like he's like supposed to look like a diplomat or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like his big thing.
They are a slime ball. They are the sort of the one kind of pulling the strings in the government here. The land of Spondulix is technically still ruled by a king of sorts. I mentioned that castle at the beginning. There is a king in that castle, but the power of that king is very quickly waning, with a lot of sort of attendants at a cabinet running most things. And as the gang members and former gang members and people affiliated with the gang would know, Valentine is essentially the Green Rock Gang's plant in the dwindling government to handle that sort of stuff, and has underlings that also run with that. For note, if anyone is curious, the king is a very old lizard folk whom nobody cares about, really. His name is King Megaronides Albinius. Very fancy, pretentious name that...
I couldn't remember Elgon, man.
No. That's intentional. People, whenever I say a complicated name, people in chat always ask for the spelling. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm never going to give you the spelling of King Megaronides Albinius, because that's
I'll give it to you.
The point. Don't.
I'll give it to you.
Don't tell them.
MEGAPCDL Minis.
Incredibly wrong. But that is fine. So yeah, that is the name of the king of Spondulix, who really does not have a lot of power in the monarchy anymore. But for note, if you're talking about bringing Valentine's faction into this, they are less the muscle, more the diplomacy, smooth talking, kind of dealing with the elite. Anyway, that's just a little bit of extra info. Go on.
Nikhil, I want to float to you that you call Valentine Valentino on purpose because you don't like him.
I hate him short.
For note, Valentino, being a changeling and also being a diplomat, shifts form quite a bit. I have been using, I think I have it. Yeah, they them pronouns for Valentine.
Okay, cool.
Because
Ratch hates them. But he'll try to keep that in mind.
No, also they are a slime ball, so feel free to insult. But
yeah, no.
I think your pronouns so I can talk shit on you later.
That bit.
To continue, Valentine may not know about the gold. Dr. Clock has a history of providing Elgon with weaponry. It is reasonable to assume that Dr. Clock both knows about the gold and how it works. Him and his faction are the wisest people to bring this information to and gain information from us, because we will be revealing the least of our hand.
That is actually quite smart. You still creep me out, but like you do have a very good point.
I cannot lie. You've been making good points all day, honestly.
I do think we may have dismissed your insight a little too quickly.
My quickly collapsing career was built on competence, not social know-how.
Not too
Well,
bad.
good quote.
Collapsing.
If Green Rock doesn't work out for you, there is an opening in my organization.
Hi, he's a criminal. Please don't recruit him to the thing you just told me was not crime.
What better way to keep criminals off the street than give them something else to do?
On the note of your odd perspective on how serious this situation is there anything else I should know about that may have gone down on your investigation?
Oh, I took this hat.
What?
Also, I'll add in here with the hat, especially UCL. Yeah, this is like definitely something designed by Dr. Clock.
He is a very tall, slender, like high elf. He looks down for the first time in like 10 minutes. The what?
It's not gold
Is-
though.
Is there a way to turn this thing on?
If there is a yeah, you can turn it. There's like a couple buttons actually. There's like some mechanisms. It's not just a simple on-off switch. And I'm also going to go ahead and say, CL, though you are the most like acquainted with the gang, I don't think you would be to the level where you like know how to work clocks tech.
Yeah.
I'm going to not look at anybody because I don't want to accidentally death laser them or something. Hit a few buttons, see what it does. Show off my new toy.
All right, so you're just gonna. So you are looking out at just like a wall, and smacking a few buttons, seeing what happens.
Yeah. Cool light.
A light comes on first. It seems like a normal enough headlamp. However, as you hit a couple more buttons, the headlamp definitely like it changes colors notably. It turns into like a let's say like a more goldish color. Keep it on theme and vibe. This is clearly something magical. Like it is not just a different color of light. You can hear like things whirring and clicking in there. This is the intended function of the machine. However, you can't see what it's doing. Like you cannot see any sort of notable effect with it. If you guys want to go ahead and give me an Arcana check on this, I will go ahead and say that as of now it will be high. But if you get high, maybe you well if you get a high.
There we go. Nat 20.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Okay.
I want to know for the record, Matt, I went and got the dice you got me like 2 years ago, and this is way better.
Woo! Nikhil
record-
crashed on my couch years ago when he was moving, and I bought him dice because I'm nice and he didn't have a set yet. And apparently they're good.
I want to state for the record that I myself rolled a nat 1 for that Arcana check.
Okay, they canceled out. You don't find out.
No!
Oh, hey!
He's just fucking paralyzed!
CL's dumb, that's fine. That shouldn't affect me.
Sail trips and breaks the helmet. You don't get it anymore. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I was
No,
going
I
to
wanted
give
to
you
build contrast!
My helmet!
So, with this, this helmet, what this does is this light allows you. This is actually quite a good item that you've got right now. It recharges. It has 3 charges. It recharges back up to full overnight, basically like, standard D&D magic item recharge every day. And by spending a charge, it allows you to cast the spell Stone Shape on whatever is in the light cone of the headlamp. It is basically a quicker mining tool that allows people to carve out tunnels faster, developed by Clock. So you have the Stone Shape headlamp.
That's amazing. I'm just gonna type.
Yeah, very. I was very nice
cool.
at giving you a cool, helpful magic item there.
Especially in this society.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what Stone Shape does, in the audience, you touch a stone object of medium size or smaller, or a section of stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension. I am going to say, for the sake, like, it works on walls more than, like, stone objects. But you form it into any shape that suits your purpose. You can shape a large rock into weapons, make small passages through walls, shape doors into walls, things like that. It's basically just magical mining tool. All right, so with the headlamp figured out, what are you guys doing? Again, it is late. If you want to try to like actually have a meeting with a higher up, you're probably not going to go and do that now.
Ratch is gonna go back to the office that I just made up randomly, and he's gonna wait for Clock and sleep in his office because that's what he
Okay,
does.
all right, sure. Yeah, I mean, you now go back to your homes.
Yeah, I'm going where that vial of gold is
I'm already
going.
home.
Okay, so yeah, Iggy's already home. I assume CL has a house or a safe house or something nearby.
Yeah.
Hatchet, you're going back to your office, and Pine is following Hatchet to his office.
And on the way, I'm
Hey,
going to
hey.
leave. Oh, go ahead.
What's up?
Do you think it's really a good idea to go? You literally took stuff from this guy's office and then told him where you're gonna be. You
Yes,
really
that was
think
the
it's
point.
a good idea for you to? You're familiar with how the gangs work, right? Like, it's not like he's gonna show up to have a polite chat with you.
Right?
I mean, do what you will, I guess, but I wouldn't go home. You literally told him where you live.
Oh, actually, I just
And
said
here you are.
to go to where I live. He has to figure it out himself.
It's your funeral, bud.
Figure it out. You put the name of your office.
Tell him where it was.
You have a
Gotta go ask
sign?
somebody. Yeah, of course I have a sign. It's not hard. Just said I didn't tell him where to go.
And I mean, like in his defense, no thief leaves their note behind. This is clearly
That is,
someone who's
yeah.
to an important meeting.
No,
Well,
I mean,
no, Ratch is
okay,
100%
he might not be
going
a
home.
thief.
Okay, so
Ratch is
He
waiting.
might not be a thief,
Ratch
but
is
you
gonna
took
go
something
sit.
from.
It's in the classic 1920s noir detective office. It's got the sloped windows, the weird lighting, and he's just gonna sit in that chair
so yeah, this is
until the next day.
a great little segue here then. Since you are doing this, what, if any, is your security measure for the valuable items that you have on your person?
2 guns.
So you're just going to bank on staying awake the whole night and hoping that nobody tries to take them?
Well, if I
Those
may
are
jump
fine.
in,
Yeah.
I'm there with you, and I was gonna say I'm stopping to go grab my secretary on the way too.
All right, cool. We'll
Irene.
get to
We
meet
got shifts.
Irene.
We can do shifts.
Go get Irene.
You know, I actually okay, yeah. I hope I don't have to play Irene because I'm realizing now that we never determined who was going to do the detail. Jess, you can.
We did. I can play Irene.
Okay.
Yeah. I got this. 2 characters.
At least for the intro. Once I know the character, I'll be able to jump in when needed. But Irene is your creation, so yeah. On the way, you stop by Pine's HQ, I guess, and pick up the
Also,
human
it's not been
assistant
addressed.
Irene.
Actually,
Hmm?
it's not been addressed. But like Ratch does have magic, so he can have also low level just spells guarding his
That
place
is
too.
yeah. So yes, you can go pick up Irene, who is a human, which I note because like Irene and then like any members of Irene's family that you would have met, Pine, are like the only humans in this entire place. There's not a lot of humans in Spondulix.
Oh yeah, very weird. And Irene is just like, I was thinking the secretary from Ghostbusters when I was thinking of her. Just that very like tired, exhausted, monotone. Like, yes, they're not in right now. Oh, you saw a ghost? Like, that's amazing. And like she's very aware that this is a crime syndicate that she has joined, but she has a secretary position, and she's just so uncaring about what the actual nature of the job is, as long as she's getting paid.
We don't have like.
Love it.
I would love to get like intro cards for every character, like animated ones. That if I get to pick anything for like high production value for D&Dorks, it would be that. And I would love to have one that just spins in and says Irene, crime secretary, and that's just
Like
So
like
that-
Smash.
yeah. No,
Irene, enter.
Nikhil, you have no idea how badly I would want to do like fighting game intros for every single D&D character I've ever made. But that's an aside. All right.
But
so
anyway,
you can go pick up Irene. And unless you want to play
So,
out that scene actively,
the criminals are not coming with us. It's just us.
So,
anyone can
So
come
I
if they
would-
would
I would
like,
actually
but I
say-
assumed that people were going to their homes, which I maybe
So-
shouldn't have.
so after they left, I would say that I stealthily followed behind him because I feel like he's gonna get himself fucking killed, and like
Wait, can I roll perception to see
I
if I
feel
know
like
he's
he's-
around?
I feel like he is like my best bet at figuring out what happened to Jens. So
Yeah, if
I
you
don't-
want to, if you're trying to
gonna let it
actively
happen, but-
sneak, stealth check, perception opposed.
Perception opposed. All right.
and I have advantage because I assume we're still
Yeah, you have advantage. That's fine.
rocks. there's always rocks.
Yeah, you
Oh,
will be
boy.
very good at
Yep.
hiding in the entirety of Spondulix.
I got 24 for perception.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he has good perception. I just had shit
Just
dice.
bad luck.
You
I
just
figured-
had
I
bad
got it.
rolls.
I didn't make
Yeah,
a
no, I only
stupid
got tw-
detective
I
on
only-
purpose.
I only got 21.
Ooh, close.
Okay. I'm not
I
gonna do
rolled a
anything,
16
but
and a
I wanted to
17,
know that
so-
I know that he's
Okay,
around.
so not interfering, but you are aware. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, everyone
Yeah,
gets to wherever they're. Oh yeah. See, TL, if you're going somewhere different or the same.
Here's the thing. They have valuable things. They are important to the investigation. But part of me feels like CL, confident that they are going to be murdered, would go to his his sparse space safe house, pour himself a drink, and toast to a smoother investigation. And I kind of want, which is a.
Well, does
Hey,
CL
feel
Safe House
free.
happen? Wait, does CL Safe House happen to be right next to Ratch's office?
Well,
Okay,
that's the
if-
cop-out answer.
If
yeah.
I roll a 20 right now, yes. No, that was a 9. It is not.
Damn.
Would have been too perfect.
I think he goes back to his safe house, pours himself a drink, and then stances up, like, stakes out the office.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
So, with that in mind, what is the defensive protocol on these items? Are you just
Ratch-
trying to stay up with your guns all night?
So Ratch is gonna walk in. They have, I don't know, again, D&D how it works, but there's some protective level of spell over the place.
Yeah,
Whichever one that could be.
I will allow you to have a protective spell over the office, considering you are I don't think that's in your kit technically, but it's your office. You're a magical character. I will allow some low level protective spells. Sure.
And then, yeah, so Ratch is gonna be like, all right, so here's how it's gonna go. We got 4 people, 4 shifts. That's, everyone gets about 6 hours of sleep. You stay up for 2. I assume Pine and Pine Friend, you can handle yourselves in the case of a mob boss arriving at our door.
Surely.
Okay, great. I will take first shift. I'll wake you up, Pine, later. Random man stalking around. Are you also good?
It's me. It's Iggy.
I forgot your name.
Oh.
But you're good to do a shift?
I guess. Sure. Yeah.
Right. He's gonna sit in his chair, and he's just gonna pull his 2 guns out, place them on the desk next to the
Please
cat
do,
in the
call me
gold
criminal.
vial, and he's just gonna stare blankly at the door. And then it's,
If I may, the gold vial is not a known quantity to our upcoming guest. Perhaps give that to me while you're on guard, so we can keep it out of sight. And then when I'm on guard, I'll give it to you.
I feel like you're gonna leave with the vial.
You have my word that I will stay. Irene, my word is good, right? You wouldn't lie. Tell this man my word is good.
Irene
She'll just
looks
be like-
up from a book that she's reading because they don't have smartphones, and is just kind of like, yeah.
She's an honest woman. She would never lie to you.
The vial stays with me.
Right.
Y-
Maybe
you
keep it in
stay
your
here.
pocket.
Okay, I'll do that. But also just so you don't take it.
I'd take this opportunity to cast mage armor on myself. It lasts for 8 hours.
I forget you're a fighter using mage armor. That's interesting.
I'm an Eldritch Knight.
Yeah, that'll be fun if you forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, okay. So if that is your plan, I think all of you have enough of a vested interest in this case, where I'm not gonna make you roll to see what if you're able to do the shift. Presumably everyone's slept enough. This is a situation where it's not actively on edge, but you have interest, so you are able to pass the night. Nothing really notable happens. You keep an eye on it, on the items, I guess, multiple of them. Everything seems okay. And then when the morning comes around and the seed light is overhead, if you would like, you can go and try to meet with the infamous Dr. Clock.
Do we know where Clock is?
Yeah,
his
he
actual-
has
Okay.
a lab. he is I guess I would say Dr. Clock does not have a lab. Dr. Reuben Clark does, his quote, the name that most people know him by, because he is an inventor who is decently high profile, though a lot of people don't know about his mob connections. So if you would like to go to his office, you can try that.
Quick gameplay question.
Yes.
So we just passed an entire night, each doing a shift. Is that enough for a long rest?
I'll say that's a long rest.
Or... Okay.
Yeah, I don't technically know if that fit. It's fine. It's a situation. Even if you're not sleeping, it's nothing happens to interrupt it, so you're fine.
We could do but like obviously CL has worked for Dr. Clock. Would he know of any alternate ways to try to get a hold of him or some kind of...
So the lab is where he would be found. You are not necessarily guaranteed a meeting from just going in and asking to talk to like the lead scientist.
We do love to do it though.
If you try to go, if you will be more likely to get a meeting if you go through the illegitimate channels, you know, but you can try either. And you would know the illegitimate channels.
Yeah. As much as I can appreciate an honest front door attitude, I don't think this is an honest front door situation.
Well, I'm sorry. So is this in the morning? We've succeeded, and CL just shows up.
I would assume. I think that makes sense, actually.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I climbed in through the kitchen window. Hello.
The protection spells did not work well.
This just means he's harmless.
yeah, it's a spider sense kind of thing.
For real though, like at whichever point we would rendezvous, this conversation.
Yeah. I assumed we didn't. This happens at a reasonable time. We'll time skip to that. So with that in mind, though, do you want to go through the illegitimate channels, or do you want to go through just trying to get an audience with the inventor, basically, crime lord or the inventor? Which you going for?
My vote would be for Crime Lord.
I think so too.
It's fine.
I'll go wherever anybody else goes because it's not a good situation for me either way.
I mean, at this point, it's not like getting information. Like we're literally just got to go to the same guy. So
as I'm saying this out loud, I actually don't think it matters too much. The only thing that would like change here is if you go to the lab and talk to the person there. CL, if you say like certain code phrases and stuff, that will make it more likely that you do get an audience with the understanding that it will be less legitimate. So if you just want to use those code phrases, there you go. For the sake of time, unless anyone like explicitly has any sort of interaction that they want to do like with the receptionist or whoever at the lab, I will just say that you guys with the code words that CL knows are able to get in. So is that good with everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So with your plan determined, you head very, very close to the city center. Dr. Clark's laboratory is on like one of the functional main streets, right? Technically, like layout wise, the center of the city is the castle. But because of the lack of, importance of that and the more importance of the other organizations, the sort of main hub of the city has shifted over a little bit to be a bit off center. And that is like the height of technology, and that is where Dr. Clark's lab is. So you go there to find an like egregiously steampunk looking building. It stands out from everything else around to such a point where like if you were mechanically inclined, you could probably tell that a lot of the stuff on the outside of this building maybe doesn't even really have a purpose beyond kind of just being grandiose, right? It's there, it's spouting a lot of steam and fancy stuff for the purpose of spouting a lot of steam and looking fancy. But going into the much fancier lobby as compared to the place you were yesterday, CL says the agreed upon code words to the receptionist, and you guys are very quickly ushered into a back room where nobody is, notably. It is an empty lab with the promise that after a couple moments, once Dr. Clock is informed, I don't know if we've actually officially said it. I think Dr. Clock is an alias, which you'll find out why. But you do have a minute or two before he actually arrives. If you guys would like to say anything or make any sort of plan, or we can go ahead, toss it to you.
I think I'm good to
I'd
go.
just like to make a perception check in the lab.
Go ahead.
Looking for anything weird or maybe more old things.
I want to do the same. Basic
Good idea.
clues.
Yeah, might as well.
19.
17.
5.
Nat 20.
Those are all really good rolls. Unfortunately, not at a super helpful time. This seems to be just kind of like a less used lab that he's using for this meeting. This is not where like any actively
Okay.
secretive things would be. Presumably there is somewhere like that in this building, but this is not it. After a moment of kind of looking around, you hear from down the hallway a telltale clanking noise that anyone who has interacted with Dr. Reuben Clark before will immediately recognize. You see, Dr. Clark is a gnome, or more accurately, was a gnome, who, thanks to his genius intellect and eccentric nature, was the first person in Spondulix to successfully transfer their brain into an auto-gnome body. And this is, of course, where the nickname changed from Dr. Clark to Dr. Clock. After a moment of this clanking, the door opens very quickly and very rigidly to reveal this auto-gnome figure. Copper colors, once again, keeping the steampunk aesthetic. There are sort of the pipes on the shoulders that are spitting out steam and such. There's like a metallic mustache on there. There's an ocular piece that's like kind of extending and contracting as it scans the area, seemingly made to resemble a monocle, etc., etc. Now, just to be clear really quick, I don't believe any of you would have interacted directly with Clock, except for possibly Ciel, correct? None of you would have. You know who he is. You might have done like some work for him. You've probably seen him before, but he would not have seen any of you other than the fixer.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we never really discussed how much of a detective Ratch is, but would he have come into contact with Clark? Would he be on Clark's radar?
Cool. I wouldn't say. Okay. You don't know if you are on Clock's radar. I would say you know that he is of the crime bosses. He is the most intelligent by a long shot. So if any of them are aware of you, it is probably him. But you would not know if you were on his radar or not.
We don't know if he's gonna fuck us.
Yeah. That. So after stepping into the room, the head turns to kind of rigidly scan. Locking after a survey of the room onto Ciel, like very abruptly, as Dr. Clark clearly recognizes that this is the one person that he knows. From the gaze, even though it is metallic, he does seem to recognize you in some sense. And then, in a mechanical tone that I would be using a voice changer for if my goddamn PC had come when it was supposed to, he kind of goes, "Well, what is it? Speak."
Dr. Clark, my name is Ciel Subeto.
I'm well aware who you are.
Oh, I didn't even let him finish.
I have a matter.
You're speaking so extremely slowly. Please pick it up.
I have a matter of security that may very well bring down the entire faction system as we know it, Dr. Clark.
Then tell me what it is instead of telling me that it is bad.
What do you know about possibly living liquid gold and a golden cat?
Is this in his view, I should note?
The cat? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. At this, all of the sort of, well, not all, but a lot of the like clicking and mechanical sounds dim or pause. You cannot read much of an expression on this guy's face. It seems that, I mean, as you can maybe guess from his personality, putting expressions into his auto-gnome body would have taken time that would have been better spent, in his opinion, on other things. So he is very difficult to read. But there is a notable pause at that. And he kind of goes, continue.
We found the vial on a murdered mercenary belonging to the Leonin. On a mining job that an alias of yours had commissioned.
Before we continue this conversation, who are they? And he kind of scans around with an arm pointing at the rest of you.
Oh, that is an excellent question that I have not dared ponder for how much the answer may upset me. We all got matching tips as to the massacre of the miners you hired. I had assumed it was the Green Rock Gang, some member sending it in anonymously. It has since become clear that that is not the case.
Once again, there is... Oh, continue, sorry.
To answer who specifically, a private detective a former Gang Rock Gang member,
I ain't nobody.
and some manner of anarchist, I believe.
I'm a businesswoman with standards. That's all.
Said with
Sure.
such disgust. Some manner of anarchist. So there's another brief pause where it seems like if, I'm not even going to make you do an insight roll for this. I'll just give it to you. It seems like he's kind of doing some internal calculations to decide whether this group of people can be trusted or not. And somewhat surprisingly, perhaps, he seems to come to the conclusion that either he can trust you or figuring this out is worth the risk, because he continues talking. I should know, is the vial in plain view right now?
No, the vial's in my pocket.
The
The
vial
cat's
is-
in my hand.
The vial is, ignoring the cat completely. Dr. Clock, where's the vial now?
The vial is safe.
Safe where?
Safe in a place that you don't need to know about.
There's you hear like a loud thunk from his head that seems to express some sort of annoyance, like a gear literally like slipping out of place. Well, can we rectify this situation?
With all due respect, Doctor, you must understand that our situation is also quite fragile. If we could keep the vial in a place only we know about, that would be nice. For what it is worth, the cat seems to have the same magical signature.
I'm not
Also,
aware
we
of the
found
nature
the
of
cat
this
in
cat,
your
but
office.
I was under the impression that all the vials had been recovered.
There's more.
All the vial?
Oh,
There is another notable pause. It seems you were not aware of the other vials.
Well, we
how
came in
how
excellent-
many other vials are there?
I'm hesitant to
Four?
share more information at this moment.
We can trade you information in return. We can tell you where this vial was found.
Did we already do that?
This is the sign like, oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to tell him that.
Yes, Pine, we could tell him where we found the cat, because we have not done that yet.
Yes, this vial was found in your office with the cat.
You found the... Excuse me, what?
Listen, we're getting off track. Mr. Criminal Clockman, you had a magic cat in your office on your desk, and we're not talking about that enough. So let's drop the one of possible many vials we have, and let's talk about the cat.
What would you like to say about the cat?
What happened? Why was it not there and then it was?
There is once again a pause and then like thunk. I have absolutely no idea what you are talking about.
The cat
The
appeared to us, and it has the same magical signature as the vials. It's related.
Very abruptly, the autognome kind of jerks out a hand as if to gesture to like see the cat.
Okay, Ratch holds the cat out. He does not give it to this fucking guy though.
Dr. Clock, his hand like grips it and kind of just. What are you doing?
Look.
I would like to inspect it closer.
Fine.
Ratchet, it is his property.
Yeah, he kind of, after some struggle, he jerks it back, and then kind of drops it down, and holds out his other hand, like not drops it to the ground, I guess, drops the arm down and holds out the other and goes, and the vial?
No, now hold on. The cat we maybe took from you. The vial was not in your office. That stays where it is actually.
Yes, but
Never
then you
mind.
made the interesting decision to bring it into my laboratory.
You have no proof of that, sir.
At that, a panel in the forehead of this autognome flips upward, and like 4 different instruments that you cannot parse the purpose of all pop out and just start moving and flashing in various ways. And speaking over the kind of hard to understand cacophony of these things, he goes, I can detect the matching magical signature in your pocket.
Every card in our hand fluttering to the floor one by one.
It was a very odd decision to bring this into a magical laboratory.
Should have left with Irene.
Detect
could've left
magic
it at
is
home.
such a common spell, people.
We couldn't have just left it at home. What are we gonna do?
I don't know. He goes, let me examine it. I will not necessarily take it.
This man's a mob boss, right? I feel like we're being way too
He-
trusting of the little gnome man.
He, he is as I said earlier, he is the most upstanding of the criminal community.
Thank you.
Now, Doctor, we may need a piece of leverage in our position.
He,
Can I have
without
your
hesitation, pops out one of his eyes and hands it to you.
Like, see how, like, waves it in front of Ratchet's face? How cooperative.
It blinks.
Reciprocates.
Alright, Raj will take the eye in exchange for the vial.
Okay. At this, he takes the vial in one of his hands, and he kind of holds it up to his face. And he takes the cat and holds it up to his face as well. And suddenly, the cat moves. The cat immediately, without changing its texture, much like the liquid in the vial, looks entirely solid until it is moving. The cat just leaps out of one hand directly at the other. In a very strange way. The body sort of stretching and squashing and distorting slightly in a way that you guys would not recognize in character, but I would describe to the cast and the audience sort of in a rubber hose animation way, and knocks the vial out of Dr. Clock's hand, at which point it crashes to the ground, shattering.
It's open.
Very on
And-
brand for a cat.
The cat then immediately slaps a paw onto it, at which point the liquid just gets absorbed into the body.
You
And
made
then
a
it
gold symbiote.
books it.
You made a fucking golden symbiote.
Didn't say that. It's not a symbiote.
The
I
cat,
better do something that's not symbiote soon.
It's a rubber hose animation. It's not. It doesn't look like a slimy boy. It looks like an animated character.
sorry, did you say the cat books it?
Yeah,
We had the door open for this conversation?
I said that he opened it extremely abruptly, and then I started the conversation.
We are the worst criminals and one
Wait,
detective
wait, wait, wait,
ever.
guys, I got this.
Is anyone gonna do anything to chase after the cat?
Yes,
It is
yes.
a good time to mention that high elves get cantrip, and I chose Chill Touch, which has a range of 120 feet and is ostensibly a spell where a ghostly hand grips a thing. So,
Gently grasp the cat. Or firmly.
do I have to roll to see if I succeed in grabbing the cat? I assume it's. I
Go
can get
ahead.
it when it's.
I mean, Chill Touch is an attack roll, I believe, right?
Oh god.
One action, cast at will.
Right,
Make a
cat.
ranged spell attack against the
Oh,
creature.
yeah, so go ahead and give me just an attack roll.
So I roll the die. What do I add to it, if anything? What do I need for that?
Do you have your spell attack modifier on your sheet somewhere? It should be your proficiency plus your spellcasting modifier, I believe. Or 10 plus your not just that. That'd be very bad. 10 plus proficiency plus your spellcasting modifier.
I apologize. I don't think I've literally ever used a spell in any of our campaigns, an attacking
It's
spell.
okay. It's okay.
No, you're
I
all
don't
good.
know how to do anything. I picked these spells this morning, and I was like, I don't know how this works. We're gonna see.
My proficiency is +3, +10, and then spellcasting modifier. Where on the sheet?
Whatever your what is it for rogues? For whatever rogue thing you are that has arcane trickster, probably.
Well, no, it's a feature of High Elf.
Oh, you're right.
High
It's a
Elf
high
gets
elf.
one
Okay, well this is
Are you
it
on
should
D&D
say.
Beyond?
Sorry, this is a.
I am on D&D
I'm
Beyond.
curious
Yes.
now.
On your spells tab, between the thing to search for spells and where it says spells, if you're using the desktop, it'll show up right in there.
Hmm.
If you're on mobile,
So I'm trying to see if I can find this as well. High elf. Intelligence. Intelligence is your spellcasting modifier.
Intelligence, awesome. That's +3. So, and it's just flat like 3 + 3 + 10 then.
10 is the spell save. I was actually right when I said. So it's a roll plus. Then it would be
Okay.
+6. You have a +6 to it.
Funny enough, I rolled a 10, so it's still 16.
So it worked out. Okay, and a 16 is enough. So you are able to grab this cat, just kind of like lifting it up in the air. I will say, and I'll allow you to do this because I assume like in character you know how your spells work. It's not mage hand, so you would have to like run over and grab it yourself. It's not like it's gonna last, but you can do that.
Yes, I absolutely do. Is all I was gonna say.
So you run. This cat, this golden cat, kind of stretching as it books it out of the room, suddenly just gets yanked up into the air, like actually physically grabbed like under the belly and pulled up with the belly stretching and then the legs following up a second later. Before Ciel runs over and grabs it. Contrasting very heavily with this like edgy, slimy character, and then essentially the like golden living cartoon character that he is now holding. And as everyone kind of stares at this in amazement, the cat looks around the room and goes, "Well, this is quite the predicament. The name's Catsby, fellas. How you all doing today?" And with that, I think we're gonna end the episode there.
I'm doing
My-
great. I just got a cat. This is so good.
And then there's police outside, which I guess is the police coming to arrest you guys for telling the crime lord pretty much everything. But yeah.
The cat's alive?
Yeah, his name's Catsby.
Was this what was gonna happen if we opened the gold anyway?
Yeah, you know what? Before we technically give me an insight check, and we'll see. And I'll reveal a little bit of what happened if you get good enough, and then we'll go to
I
final
got a nat
announcements.
20 + 6.
Okay, yeah. So
Wow.
seeing this cat, the glints of gold that you have been seeing were the cat following you, trying to get the vial for reasons unknown. If you had passed any of those perception checks, you would have found the cat statue earlier. All of those perception checks were to find Catsby hiding as a statue as he chased you throughout trying to get the vial. Why Catsby wanted the vial? Unknown. That you'll have to find
Wow.
out next week.
Unfortunate we found it on the desk. If we found it in like the tunnel or something, this would have got so much
Oh,
faster.
like I said, that's the reason I made a flowchart for this episode was Catsby. Because Catsby can show up in any part of this, and obviously there's so much more going on there that you will not find out quite yet. But yeah, that is going to be the end of episode 1 of Minor Infractions. We will do our announcements, of course. I will let everybody plug their stuff. I do hope that you all enjoyed, both cast and audience alike. Now, we will be back for episode 2 of Minor Infractions, same time next week, 6 p.m. Central Time, this Twitch channel. The VODs for this episode will be uploaded on Wednesday. It's been 2 months. I don't remember what time we usually post them because I'm not the one that does that. But at some point on Wednesday, it will be uploaded to, again, YouTube, Spotify, other podcasting platforms. If you subscribe to our Patreon, then you can get it earlier. It will be up on Monday. We also have other benefits on our Patreon. There's some exclusive stuff, concept art for older series, after shows, lots of fun things there. So you should go and check it out. And you can check all that out at our website, which is right now just the same landing page, but it will get updated later. It is thedndorks.com. Now, I have been informed the link going through chat does not work. Apparently, with the way I have it forwarding, you have to actually like type it in. So if you type it in to your browser and then go to thedndorks.com, it still works. But if you've tried to click on the link in chat, the forwarding is just broken on links, which I will fix. The website does take us to our links, I promise. But with that, that is pretty much, I think, the only announcement we have. It's a new campaign. I'm happy with how this went, but there's not too much to say for announcements other than more happening next week. So with that, We will go around. Fittingly, I guess we'll go clockwise. Everybody can, plug your stuff to anyone who might be new on the show. And then we'll wrap up. So, clockwise, fittingly, Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess. I think you know that at this point. Mostly I'm active on TikTok and Instagram. Pirate Princess Jess on TikTok, Pirate Princess Jessica on Instagram. And sometimes I remember to post stuff on YouTube, which is also Pirate Princess Jess. Yeah, that's me. I actually have surprisingly little going on right now.
I mean, same. I have TikTok and this. All right.
Nice.
It is nice. Over to Mike.
Hi, you can find me on TikTok at Mike Funny Boy or on YouTube at Mike is Funny Boy, I believe. No, I think it is just Mike Funny Boy. I lucked out on that. As you may be able to tell, I've been a little spotty with uploading, but I'm trying to be less spotty. So if I do make a splash on the internet, it will be TikTok or YouTube. If you like me here, you can see me there.
Excellent. Then the newcomer to D&Dorks, Jake.
Yeah, I'm Jake. I'm Adventures in Ardia with 2 A's, AARDIA. On everything, TikTok, YouTube. I make a show called Roll for Sandwich where I roll dice to randomly generate my lunch every day and eat it no matter what it ends up being. And that's pretty much what I do. So I'm going to be in Chicago in April and also in Milwaukee. So keep an eye on my channel for more information about those if you live in those areas.
This is so fancy. I guess that's a good segue for. I'll hijack before we get to Nikhil. I'm going to Emerald City Comic Con. I should announce that this month. I'm not like a guest or anything. I'm literally just like going to vibe. But if you see me at Emerald City Comic Con, say hi. I'm gonna be there all 4 days. And then Nikhil.
Hi everyone, my name's Nikhil. If this is your first stream, you don't know me. If it's not, you probably know me. I'm Nikhil Clayton on TikTok. It's where I post the most. I'm also Nikhil Clayton on Twitch and YouTube, and Real Nikhil Clayton on Instagram. And if you could follow any of those, that'd be nice, because I have laughably less followers everywhere else. I have 400 Twitch followers, which is sad. But I do Twitch sometimes, so you should come follow me.
Go follow everybody everywhere. Thank you all for watching. I do believe that is the... Oh, I guess I should say, the merch store is going to get updated with minor infraction stuff. It hasn't yet, but that will happen probably before episode 2. But with that, yeah, thank you all for watching. I do hope that everybody enjoyed. We will see you all next week, and have a great rest of your night. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Adios.